All right. All right. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, everybody. No, I'm not on time, okay-ish. It was zeros before I popped on. Anyway, Labyrinth, congratulations on your first. Welcome in, Dark Assassin. Yeah, they gave me the corn. They gave me the candy corn. Which, y'all are psychopaths if you don't like candy corn. Y'all are psychopaths if you don't like candy corn. Candy corn is fucking amazing. Candy corn is gross. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it, okay-ish, because you know exactly what I'm gonna say. You know exactly what I'm gonna say. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Let me tell you how my Monday has fucking gone. So, I stayed up late last night in Krabs' stream. I've never tried candy corn. You need to live. Candy corn is death. That's why it's delicious. So yeah. I had to work this morning. And I was up late last night in Crab Cakes' stream. And I did not wake up. I mismanaged my snooze button. And I woke up at the time I was supposed to be at work. So, I did this for the content? No. So, I called work and I said, hey, I'm sorry, I fucked up. They said, yeah, you whiffed. We put somebody else on the job. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you need me for another one? He's like, well, you should come in. Just like completely cold to me. And I'm like, this is literally the first time I've done this. Like, I'm fucking sorry. But this is the first time I did this. So I drive in, do a thing called free agenting. Basically, you pop in, and if they have a job for you, they throw you on it. So I'm in there for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. They threw me on a job. It's not till the fucking afternoon, though. So, I worked this afternoon, and it was 5.5 fucking hours of work. It's a fucking nightmare. I should have been done. With work 8 hours ago, but because my dumbass mismanaged my snooze button, I cost myself at least $60, and I cost myself at least 3 to 4 hours of time that I could have fucking got shit done. So that's how my fucking Monday went. So yeah, then I got off of work and stuffed my face with chicken patties and chicken nuggets because I'm a child. And now I'm here. And I have a slight headache. And I thought about canceling the stream because I want to relax a little bit and kind of let this headache subside. But I promised Hogwatch. I promised Hogwatch. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Hogwatch. We're gonna do it. We're gonna ease into it. No, you know what? We're gonna go with the good liars. And the good liars decided to hang out outside of the Madison Square Garden Nazi rally. I'm sorry, Trump rally last night. Also, chat, this isn't the first time that there was a Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden. I hope y'all knew that, because I've mentioned it several times on stream. There was a Nazi rally in the 30s in Madison Square Garden. Like full-blown swastikas and everything. My work ended up letting me go because I messed up like that. See, that sucks, Dark Assassin. I'm sorry for that. But like, the way he... So this is what pissed me off. They praise me all the fucking time and say I do such a good job and like I bust my ass for them. And then to be that fucking cold to me the first time I did something when there's literally people There's literally caddies that literally do that shit all the fucking time. And then it'd be that cold to me. I'm sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? Fuck that. Whatever. It was a Nazi rally. 100,000%. Yes. Everyone forgets about the 1938 Madison Garden rally. I don't think it was 38. I think you were just throwing out a number. I think it was 34. No, it's 1939. 1939. Second time I couldn't help because we had the police here. They didn't give a shit. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Can't watch it, but I'll leave a lurk. I'm going to try to sleep again. Okay. Third time I legit fucked myself. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Dark Assassin. But anyway. So, we're going to start with the good liars outside the New York City Trump rally. And then we're going to watch Jon Stewart talk about it. Then, we're going to watch Carter's video on conspiracy theories. And then we're going to watch how Jubilee ruined debating. And then we're going to watch a Jubilee video of debating and watch Ben Shapiro get his ass kicked. And if I get sick of this at any point, I reserve the right to start playing PlanetCraft. So this is the deal I'm making with you as chatters. With that being said, let's let the hogs out. Let's let the hogs out and watch them. Let's do it, chat. This might be the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. No. According to Donald Trump, the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals is the one that we have with China. So, suck it. Anyway, here's the link to the video. Be sure to give it a watch. And we'll see at the end if we give it a thumbs up. I'm sure we will, though. All right, here we go.
What do you think happened with the hurricanes that happened in...
What I think happened with the hurricanes? I think that they want the land. You know, I think that the government wants the land, and this is what they did.
But
wow. Starting out hot. I hate to break it to you, the land is already the fucking government's. The government can literally take it from you whenever they fucking want. The land is already the government's. So, hot take to start.
what do you mean what they did?
They made a fake tornado.
Right.
Yeah, they planted whatever they do. They put that
Manipulated the weather.
the weather exactly.
But you think the government manipulated the weather?
I think the government is not our friend, sir. The government is not our friend.
Do you think the government created the hurricane to hurt the United States?
Absolutely. Not to hurt the United. They want the land. They want the land for the what is that? The batteries, uranium stuff, whatever it is.
Lithium?
The lithium.
Chat, I say this shit all the time. The generation that told us not to believe everything on the internet believes everything on the fucking internet. They made tornadoes and taking our land, trying to mine our land. This is so fucking dumb.
The only reason I know that is because another lady at a Trump rally told me.
Oh, they know. You don't know? You don't watch the news?
He knows.
I do watch the news, yeah. Do you watch the news?
No, not all of it.
To make the news.
We are here in Manhattan, outside Madison Square Garden. People have made the trip from Long Island, from Staten Island, even as far as New Jersey to be here. Did you guys come in from Staten Island, Long Island, or New Jersey?
Long Island.
New Jersey.
Long Island,
Long Island.
New Jersey.
Long Island.
All right. So there you have it.
Do you want Trump to be a strong leader?
He is a strong leader.
Hurricane made by China. I think she means none of it. No. As someone who has family members who have literally sent them articles to me, who literally has a master's degree in meteorology, they fucking believe this shit. They genuinely fucking believe this shit.
Do you want him to be like the strongest president in history?
He already has been.
Do you want Donald Trump to go after some members of the media?
Absolutely. The media needs to be corrected. It's just so biased. It's ridiculous.
Do you consider Donald Trump a nationalist, an ultra-nationalist?
Absolutely. Trump gets along with everything. Trump keeps the peace. Trump makes the economy better.
Do you think Trump is the only guy for the job right now?
He is the best candidate
The best candidate?
and the toughest. We need him.
Do you think Trump is a fascist?
No.
Chat. Chat. This man is a thumb. I bet he's a cop. I bet he's a cop. When you fly a weather balloon if they're not making hurricanes? It's just like the person that fucking complained about the hurricane hunter's flight in the hurricane. Be like, oh my God, they flew around the eye. What the fuck could they possibly be doing? They're hurricane hunters. They're literally going in there to collect data so that they can prevent people from getting fucking killed in the future.
Have you heard the reports of his former chief of staff, John Kelly, saying he believes Donald Trump is a fascist?
Nope. Don't believe it.
Don't believe it?
Nope.
He said he's a fascist. He gave the definition of fascism. He was like, he is an ultranationalist. He wants to go after his enemies, the media. He said he's like a strongman candidate. What's your thoughts on that?
Trump is going to correct everything that needs to be corrected, and the poor guy's been just beaten to death by the wrong side.
But you don't think he's a fascist?
No.
We are here at a Trump rally. Look at this. Look at all.
Dude, Americans don't know what fascism is. They really don't. They don't know what fascism is. They literally think communism and fascism is the same thing. What the fuck? Dude, our education system is so fucking bad. I mean, he fucking 100% set his ass up. But these people, they don't have cognitive ability to realize that they're getting set up. And like the smart ones that realize they're getting set up don't even know the talking points well, which is why I need to go to the right to get the bag. Usain Bolt is the biggest, fastest. That the 100 run was so fast.
All the people. Would you just look at them? Are you excited to be here?
Well, I'm absolutely excited to be here.
Did you come in from Long Island or New Jersey?
I'm from South Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. What's the capital of New York?
Syracuse, right?
Oh.
No, Albany. Albany, yeah, it is Albany.
There you go. So, yeah, so
Typical
you can see,
Jersey.
People are here, genuine New Yorkers. What's that song you're singing?
Trump, until you get tired screaming. Woo! Trump 2024. Where am I gonna be on?
Dude, this is a cult. This is a cult, and they can't admit that they're fucking wrong. Dude, this is their people's hobbies. They literally don't have anything else to do. They need to get jobs. That's what it is. I know it's on a Sunday, but like a lot of these people, like they need jobs. Like if they had jobs, they wouldn't go down these fucking conspiracy theory rabbit holes. New Jersey, yeah.
He's no racist.
Do you think Donald Trump would admit if he loses?
I'm not Donald Trump.
You just have no idea.
No,
Given the past, do you think he'd admit if he loses?
I'm not Donald Trump.
So you're just not Donald Trump.
I'm not him. I can't answer for him, so I can't say that.
Okay, honestly, I thought you were Donald Trump for a second.
No.
We're not banning, abortion, but we try to talk to people into maybe having the baby, giving it up for adoption.
Abortion is banned in several Republican states,
Well, in some states, but
all run by Republicans.
but you can go.
They need their third spaces back. Work makes one free. Otto, I know that joke you're making. Because that's what the Nazis put on the concentration camps, that work will set you free. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these people need jobs because they need a hobby that's not fucking falling down conspiracy theory holes. And I'm making the joke that they need jobs because they keep claiming that people like myself don't have jobs. But in reality, these people are going to the Capitol on a fucking Tuesday, and storming it. That's not a Usain Bolt, okay, quote, okay.
go to other states. Okay?
Are you sick and tired of the people comparing Donald Trump to Hitler?
The only ones that are saying that is Kamala Harris.
Well, and also Trump's VP.
J.D. Vance is comparing Trump to Hitler?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
He said Trump might be America's Hitler.
I don't believe that was said. I did not hear that.
Did he tweet
I don't
that?
believe that was.
No, he said that.
Trump is 100% for the people. He's for making America great again.
Right, no, I'm just asking if you're...
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, he said Trump might be America's Hitler.
I don't think so. I think that Trump.
No, he did.
No, I think that he's going to go in.
No, but he did.
And he's going to straighten out the country. The economy is going to turn around. It's going to be soaring. The border.
No, I totally understand the economy and everything, but I'm saying...
Chat, I hope you're understanding this when they're saying he's going to fix everything, that he alone can fix everything. This is fascist propaganda. This is literally they're falling for the fascist propaganda. Fascism is when a strongman goes up and says, all your problems, I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to wave a wand and get rid of them. And these people believe him because they don't have... I talked to somebody that was raised like ultra conservative their whole life. And I asked him, like, hey, what changed your mind? And he said, I got so close to the point so many times. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get over the hump to get to it. He's like, there's this like little block that prevents you from realizing in the moment that like, oh, what the fuck? This is fucking weird. I don't understand. What? But then once you get over that block, you look back and you're like, whoa, how did I ever believe any of this stuff? Honestly, Iowa is less brain dead than these folk. Yeah. Well, this is fucking New York conservatives. So they're the most New York and New Jersey conservatives. This is the most brain dead folk you get. But also Iowa had a representative say that if the Nazis existed in modern times, that the Nazis would be part of the Republican Party. This is true. Stephen King. Not the author Stephen King. The House of Representatives Stephen King. Stephen King, members of Nazi-linked party in Austria would be Republicans if they were in the U.S. Rep. Stephen King, Iowa, on Saturday defending his association with Nazi-linked group in Austria, telling the Washington Post that the group is far-right. He made the comments after Austria's Freedom Party, a group founded by former Nazi SS officer and whose current leader was active in neo-Nazi circles, according to the paper. If they were in America pushing the platform that they push, they would be Republicans. King, who is known for his inflammatory statements about immigration, told the Post. Yeah, chat. What really sucks in Iowa, though, is a vast majority of the union folk are Trumpers. Impossible to convince them. Shaking my head. I'm never going to read The Shining again. Shame on you, Mr. King. Yeah, it is a shame that union rank and file members are Trumpers. I'd be actually curious if the union leadership actually educates the people. Because I wonder if Iowa is also part of one of the places where like unionship is actually controlled by the corporation themselves. Union Trumpers blow my mind. Yeah. Some of the union leadership is very base though. Yeah. Usually union leadership is pretty based. But again, the other interesting thing is that I wonder if the unions are like controlled by the corporations, because that's definitely a thing. If I remember correctly, Iowa's an at-will state. Yeah, Iowa's an at-will employment state. So like the unionship in general is not as strong as it could be. For those that don't know what an at-will state is, it means that you could be fired for any fucking reason at all. Hassan is literally watching the same video right now. Oh, really? Yeah, I have his VOD on in the background right now. I'm not playing it right now because I'm reacting to this, but I'll play it later. Also, I beat Hassan to it.
JD Vance did say Trump might be
I
America's
don't know.
Hitler.
You're telling me that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Okay,
Show
you
it
just
to her.
managed to not hear it?
I just did not hear it. No, I never heard that.
Show it to
All
her.
right.
All right.
So there you have it. Some people out here sure that Donald Trump is going to win, and somehow not having heard, big news that everyone seems to have heard.
I think he won New York State, Donald Trump in 2020.
Possibly.
Do you think he's going to win this year?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
100%?
100%.
Want to bet $100 on it? That he wins New York State. $100. Donald Trump wins New York State.
I hope so, yes.
You hope
Can
so?
I get your contact?
Okay.
Can I get your contact info so I can collect my bet if I win?
Oh my God, she thinks that he's hitting on her.
So do you think
No, he
Donald
just
Trump
wants to
will
collect the
win
$100
State of New York? People are saying
he will. I know
you
it.
know he will?
Yes.
You're 100% sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay, do you want to bet on it?
Yes.
Okay, $100?
You got it.
Okay, what's your email? Just say your email address. We'll keep in touch.
I'm not going to say it here.
Okay.
All right.
But do you actually want to bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think the polls are lying about New York?
Absolutely.
You think Donald Trump is going to win New York State?
Absolutely 150%.
Do you want to bet $100 on it as well?
Dude, these people are so fucking delusional. I live in a right to work state. I have the right to work. Yeah. The thing is, if you try to educate them instead of being less of a Trump fanatic, they just become more anti-union. What? Instead of being less of a Trump fanatic, they become more anti-union. If you educate them that Trump is against unions, so you're saying they become anti-union because Trump is against unions? Because, like, another purpose of union leadership is to educate the rank and file people and say, hey, these policies hurt us. This rhetoric hears us. Yep. Jesus. Well, I mean, also, Donald Trump and Elon Musk bragged about anti-union busting techniques, like firing people that are trying to form unions. So that's a thing. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix that besides just, constantly saying over and over again that unions increase the pay for everybody across an industry. That industries that have unions statistically have like 22% higher pay or something like that than other industries. Any attempt to educate people is seen as an attack because anything that could possibly be bad about Trump must be an attack on America. I'm still convinced if you say it enough times, they're going to start being like, okay, why do they keep saying this? Why do they keep saying this stuff? Is there like any truth to this? I'm still kind of convinced of that. I don't know. Oh, my sweet summer child. Bro, the UAW Trumpers I met think Trump is going to make the union be like it was in the 60s. Did you ask them how and what they think the unions were like in the 60s? Like, they're aware that unions in like the 60s and shit were like willing to not work, right? Because I feel like these union members that are Trumpers lick boots like tremendously. Like, they'll do anything for the company and not like force the company to pay them for like extra work and everything. But you guys have more experience with these kinds of union members than I do.
Kamala Harris is a slimy, slimy communist. She's going to do what the globalists tell her to.
What? Did they not? Did they not listen to Kamala's DNC speech? That wasn't communist at all. I mean, that was closer to a Trump speech than a fucking communist speech. Fuck.
Kamala Harris is actually a communist?
Actual communist. She's the furthest left senator of all 100. I think it was back in 2019.
But are you saying that, is that
Okay, this isn't wrong. She did vote more progressive, but that was while Trump was president. And Bernie didn't vote for certain progressive legislation because there was a poison pill in them. So Kamala Harris technically has a more progressive record than Bernie Sanders. To a good 30% of my coworkers, Trump is God. Well, there's the Hassan rule that you can find 30% of anything in the United States. Trump is God. If he was God, why did he get hit by a bullet? To about 50%, he's Jesus. Hey, I found out last summer that Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit are the same thing. I didn't know that. I thought there were three different entities. I thought there were three different entities that were united. I guess I was a bad Christian my whole life. I was a bad Catholic.
hyperbole, or do you believe she is actually a communist?
I see Marxism all over the place.
In what sense? I mean, she was a prosecutor. This is not a career path for a communist.
Absolutely it is.
Why would they want to interrupt the certification?
What? That argument wasn't even... Okay. One, he sees Marxism everywhere. Yes, if you're looking at material conditions, if you're looking at the analysis of people's material conditions, that's technically Marxism. Two, she was a career prosecutor. That's not the typical path of that's not a path of a communist. In communist systems, you still have prosecutors, you still have lawyers, you still have some kind of force. Depends on your level of brainwashing, sorry, belief. It just... Oh. There's a reason I advocate for a ton of education.
Of a presidential election, which Joe Biden was...
Investigate the votes and how many more cheating was
I'm
going
asking why would Antifa and all of them interrupt the certification of a presidential election in which Joe Biden was going to be certified as the next president? You're saying they posed as Trump supporters on January 6th. Why would they do that?
to make Trump look bad.
All right, appreciate it.
When the big blue toilet cities allowed Antifa to burn the joint down. That's what communists do. They stoke violence.
The big blue toilet cities?
Portland, Chicago.
You're in New York right now.
Yes, I know.
Are you frightened of being in New York?
No, I've been here for decades. Why would you think I'm not from here?
Well, you're calling it a blue toilet city.
It is. In many ways, New York is. It's not as bad as Portland or Seattle.
This dude is a good foot taller than everyone else. Yes. Also, Portland, the area of Portland that they're complaining about was a block. And it was a federal courthouse after people were literally getting kidnapped by unmarked vehicles and thrown in and arrested. And again, Portland deals with Nazis literally every weekend. So Portlanders are very familiar with fascist demonstrations. They don't stand for that shit. Porta potties are named after Portland. Yes, that's it, Otto. Also, Portland was almost named Boston. I think it was a coin flip. It was a coin flip between Portland and Boston. But also Seattle, it was a half a block. It was a half a block of like just fucking loons, which ended up creating a police force anyway. Yeah, there's fucking psychopaths all everywhere. It didn't work out. This shit happens. Shit doesn't work out.
Or San Francisco, but if
what's so bad about New York?
What's so bad about New York? The crime is pretty bad, mostly in underserved communities, and that's where the communists go first.
Whoa. The crime is rampant in the underserved communities, and that's where the communists go first. He's so close to figuring it out. Underserved communities tend to lean towards crime because they're trying to put food on the fucking table. Yes, that's true. But when saying that's where the communists go first, what does that even mean? Which you might be right a little bit because the Black Panther Party were communists and took care of those underserved communities because the government wasn't fucking helping them. I guess the cops say they wouldn't replace them. The cops say they wouldn't replace the porta potties? Or did I say something else that I'm not remembering right now?
Is going full force. We cannot remove God from our country. And
What do you mean the wrath of God?
I feel like with Kamala Harris,
You're saying the wrath of God is coming after Kamala Harris?
No. I'm saying God is very not. Sorry. Let me take it back.
Yeah, no, take your time.
I don't think that God is happy with what is happening right now. It really depends on the God that you're praying to, and whatever push you feel within you. But
So your God is telling you vote for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Do you want Donald Trump to be a strongman president?
These people. What's aren't there like studies that find that like people that are super religious are very susceptible to falling for cults and stuff? The wrath of God incoming. I mean, the cops won't be replaced by crazy people in Portland. Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with you, S-Cow. Also, people in Portland aren't fucking crazy. Like, I mean, if you're already in one cult, it's easy to get into another. Yeah. Again, someone was a rabid atheist and hated religion, who has kind of revised my thoughts on religion, because religion does give structure to some people. And some people need that structure. So it's not all a bad thing. But Jesus Christ. I just don't understand. I'm trying to understand these people. I'm trying to put myself in these people's shoes so I could maybe figure out a way to get to people like this, but I can't. You need structure, bitch? Go play with your Legos.
Of course I do.
Do you want Donald Trump to...
Structure and community. Community is the big part of it. But then there's churches and religions that take advantage of that community, such as evangelicals and shit.
go after Democrats?
100%, yeah.
Do you want Donald Trump to go after the media?
He's setting her up again.
Yes, I do. We need a new whole system on the media.
Do you think Donald Trump is the only man for the job?
Right now, 100%.
The only guy that could do this is Donald Trump.
The only one? Who else is there? Who else can put up what he does?
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. We want to remind you, you can support us on here.
I'm only kidding. Religion is a great way to foster community. I wish we could set up an equivalent. Yeah. I mean, unions are a pretty decent equivalent, or like DSA chapters and stuff like that. But I would probably outlaws like DSA chapters and everything like that. But yeah, that was a good liars. Once again, showing the psychopathy of Trump supporters. But yeah, they do some good shit and show hypocrisy and everything, and show the lack of intelligence at Trump rallies. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I didn't want to do that. I screwed up. Are we just chatting? Yeah, we're chatting and we're doing React content to conservatives and shit. I don't know if we're gonna get to gaming tonight, but we'll probably just be doing React content all day. When you take a religion based on being kind and generous and use it to persecute people, those people need to be removed. Yes, I agree. Religion needs to be meant as a shield, not a spear. So, let's go. All right, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. But welcome in, Striker. Religion is cool and all, but then some jerk realizes they can turn that into power and money, and it all goes downhill from there. Yeah, that's just like when the church had more power than the governments back in the day, because they literally held everybody's secrets and everything from confession and everything, and then that's how they got rich. And then that's why like priests can no longer marry or anything like that in the Catholic Church, because priests had gotten too much power. So, all right, on to Jon Stewart. This was posted like 10 minutes or probably 30 minutes ago. So let's check it out. The Washington Post refused to endorse a candidate, and they were going to run an article that the Washington Post was endorsing Kamala Harris. And then Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, who also owns Amazon, and who is a crypto tech dude, who crypto tech dudes love Donald Trump, basically put a kibosh on it and said, no, you're not going to run that. The LA Times also did that as well. But there was rumors that came out that the daughter of the owner of the LA Times told the LA Times not to endorse Kamala Harris because of the war, because of the genocide, and that the LA Times shouldn't support a candidate who is enabling a genocide. But then the owner keeps coming out and says, no, that's not true. That's not true. It's not true. So, doesn't he also own a $500,000 yacht? Who? Jeff Bezos? $500 million yacht? Probably. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. I think I've seen clips and shit of that. But what's the point of owning a fucking yacht like that? You understand how much money it costs to own a yacht? You have to have a full-time crew on it. You have to have a full-time crew on it. You have to have fucking maintenance constantly on it. You have to do all that shit, and it has to constantly be like ready to go at a moment's notice. His yacht has his own yacht. That is true. Here's the performer, Striker. Rudy Giuliani had me rolling. Yeah, that guy's fucking a psychopath. No, Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about Puerto Ricans, and it was super, super racist. And then he came out defending and be like, oh, it was out of context joke, and you're making it seem racist. And he goes, oh, I love Puerto Rico. I go vacationing there all the time. I'm like, how do you not fucking understand this? How do you not understand this? He's running with a performer. Yeah, JD Vance. He fucking performs fellatio on anybody with power and any billionaire and everything like that. Also, I can't say that because people that perform fellatio are pleasure givers. Those people should be put on a pedestal. People that perform fellatio are probably the best people that this earth has ever known. Wait, your cousin Tucker was on there? Puerto Rico is a floating island garbage is what I heard. Yeah, that's Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe.
Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ. I love you.
Oh my fucking God. He ran out of racist shit to say about Kamala Harris and just goes, oh, low IQ. Also, where the fuck did the Samoan Malaysian shit fucking come from? She's black and she's Indian. She's black and she's Indian. Where the fuck did Samoan come from? Like 500,000 Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania? Yeah. No, I know, Striker. Fucking very stupid. And also, Trump didn't disavow the comment at all. And there's a shit ton of Puerto Ricans in New York. Now, he doesn't have a chance to win New York, basically. But he has a chance to win Pennsylvania. But like you said, Striker has 500,000 Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania. He was trying to be clever and insulting towards her. But like, he's not clever. He's just a racist. He's just a white supremacist. He's a fucking Nazi. This thing doesn't exist, right? I can't believe I'm looking this up. Oh my God, it's real. 1798, yeah. It's fucking real. The Alien Enemies Act of 1798 is a wartime authority that allows the president to detain or deport the natives and citizens of an enemy nation. The law permits the president to target these immigrants without a hearing and based only on their country of birth or citizenship. Although the law was enacted to prevent foreign espionage and sabotage in wartime, it can be and has been wielded against immigrants who have done nothing wrong, have evinced no signs of disloyalty, and are lawfully present in the United States. It is an overbroad authority that may violate constitutional rights in wartime and is subject to abuse in peacetime. Alien Enemies Act has been invoked 3 times, each time during a major conflict: 1812, World War I, and World War II. World Wars I and II, the law was a key authority behind detentions, expulsions, and restriction targeting Germans, Austro-Hungarian, Japanese, and Italian immigrants based solely on their ancestry. The law is best known for its role in Japanese internment and a shameful part of the U.S. history for which Congress, presidents, and the courts have apologized. Actually, as I was reading this, I'm like, oh, this is probably what fucking FDR used to inter Japanese residents. Thankfully, Congress knew in 1798 of the alien threat. Yeah, true. True, 100%. Just like chatters know the threat at the top of the hour ad break, because the top of every hour, run a 3-minute ad to avoid plural ads for any new viewers. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription, or you can get lucky and get gifted a sub, or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos and Amazon to your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's not me, or that is me. Hopefully that is me. But if it's not me, hopefully it's one of my friends. But if you don't have a subscription, then you get stuck behind the 3-minute ad break now. Chat, while I play the ad break, I'm going to fill my water. S-Cow, if you're in here, that one's an 8 out of 10. Thank you, S-Cow. But if S-Cow would ever be so kind and give some shout outs for the rest of chat, those that are subscribed. But I will wait for y'all to get out of the ads. So I throw biddies at my favorite streamers. Hell yeah. S-Cow, you're on mobile. Just do shout outs for the people that you know off the top of your head. Please. I can do a couple for you. Here comes the ad now. All right. I'm back. I'll do a couple shout outs. So we're going to shout out So Freely, because she's the GOAT. We could do Potato Queen. I feel like we hear that one all the time.
Whoever threw that, your mom's a hoe.
Gary can't control himself. Chat, please check out all my friends. Please give them a follow.
Oh, I didn't clip that.
What is it? What is it? Explain yourself. Explain the situation. Explain what's not good. Explain. Describe the situation. What's going on? What made you do that? What made you do that? There's a rock.
Perfect timing, yeah.
What a
Welcome
miss.
in, Kiko. Nice. Pog. I'm pogging. Oh shit, Lab.
Dude, what?
Clip it.
Eat it. Oh, we need to get more clips out of Plank's stream.
I'm not sure you can eat it.
Why is it still bleeding?
See?
This is like the only clip of Plank. Yeah, but I tried clipping in Plank's stream like the other day, and like it just didn't allow me to do it, and then he fixed it. So we just got to keep clipping his shit. Also, not only am I immobile, I am also in a TV. You're in a TV, Escal? What? Huh? What? Anyway, let's get back to Jon Stewart because the ad's over. Thank you all for sticking around after the ad. The difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant is paperwork. Just paperwork. That's the difference. Fucking paperwork. And a lot of the illegals they're talking about are asylum seekers. They're political asylum seekers because they're fleeing from countries that we have fucking devastated and absolutely fucking annihilated with sanctions and shit, particularly Venezuela and Guatemala and Nicaragua. We fucking overthrew all their fucking governments and everything like that. And now they're run by cartels and everything who make their money off of our drug usage and then use our American guns. It's an America problem. We don't want crazies here, though. Our asylums are full. Dude, I am fucking convinced. I am convinced that Donald Trump does not know the difference between mental asylums and political asylum. I think he thinks they're the same thing. And the more and more I listen to him say this shit in his rallies and whatnot, I am convinced that he doesn't know the difference between the two.
Okay, so you get a container, and you get a little plant, you put it in the container, and you synthesize it, then you sell it to a cartel, and they move across the border, then it's in the north. Then you sell it to oblivious people on Wall Street who are racist towards Mexican people, yet do the drugs that cause the problems in the fucking first place.
Also, is this a clip or a highlight? How did you get it to jump like that in like one clip? I knew someone in the IRS who said they knew who is illegal and who is not, but they pay taxes so they overlook it. Yes. Yeah. Most migrants from the United States literally pay taxes. They pay sales tax and they pay fucking income taxes. So like, they are contributing more to the system than they're taking out. What is it, Kiko again? I don't know. Someone that doesn't stream. No, that was one video. Yeah, but it like jumped. It wasn't like a smooth, continuous. You streamed last night? Oh, that's got to be a record. You're gonna do twice in a week, Kiko. Also, Kiko, we were in Krabs' stream, and we were talking about you. Hard to believe. Great job, little guy. We were talking about you, and Krabs said if 2 times, hell yes. And Krabs said that if you streamed as much as I did, your shit would fucking explode. Like, if you would stream as often as I do for the time periods that I do, your stream would fucking take off. Like, you wouldn't believe. But that's just 2 guys' opinions. Also, you and Krabs ever had a conversation with a streamer to realize after a few minutes that they aren't live? That's kind of crazy. Because Otto claims power lies where men believe it lies. You let Otto have too much power over you. They're eating the pets. That's all right, brother. They're eating the pets. Welcome in, Nomar. I hope your stream was good. I saw you were having mic difficulties. I was looking for a large portion after I got out of work. But check out Nomar. They're petting the food and eating the pets. They're going to PetSmart and enjoying the buffet. Yeah, hopefully we can fix tonight. What was up with it? Did it like detach from like?
Oh God, yeah.
Should have knocked. Sorry, bro. Oh, God.
Oh my God, that's a great clip. Pets are not food. Pets are profit. I got a hammer if things don't work out. No more. That is a fucking awesome clip. I found it, by the way. Kiko, this is your fucking guy. This is your fucking character. So this guy literally he does a painting for like every Trump rally. So this is what he did on stage.
So, before I create this piece of art, I would just like to give the art world a little something. I got it here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Bam!
It's Kiko, chat. It's Kiko.
Before I create this piece of art, I would just...
Oh my God, no fucking way. Also, there was another guy that was pretty close to that too. Was this guy?
She is some sick bastard, that Hillary Clinton, huh?
No, wasn't him. Not Tony Hinchcliffe. Oh, this guy.
No, this is complete gone. Not even her simp, Mark Cuban.
No, not this guy. But it was the fucking art guy.
This. Even Marky Boy says this would destroy.
Also, Rudy Giuliani being psychotic.
Not there for us. They want to kill us. And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old. They won't let a Palestinian in Jordan. They won't let a Palestinian in Egypt. And Harris wants to bring them to you. They may have good people. I'm sorry, I don't take a risk with people that are taught to kill Americans at 2. I'm on the side of Israel.
I'm sorry.
You're
Don't
on the side of
libertarians teach their kids that the government's bad and that like government employees should be murdered? Don't libertarians do that? Wouldn't that be murdering Americans? Palestinian equals terrorist. No. Stryker. Rudy was the mayor of New York during 9/11. So any kind of Middle Eastern person is considered a terrorist to Rudy Giuliani. So a Palestinian person is 100% definitely a terrorist to Rudy Giuliani. Also, with that being said, I don't know if Rudy Giuliani has ever met an Israeli, because a lot of Israelis look Palestinian and a lot of Palestinians look Israeli because you can't tell the difference, which is why Israel has literally checkpoints all the fucking time to check people's ID, because they can't tell the difference between a Palestinian and an Israeli. Rudy can't practice law, so now he practices insanity. Yeah. All right, what's the reference?
Valiant effort.
Guns. What?
Lot of death.
It's a thing fucking your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that you? Was that you who said that? Was that you who said that? That was you. Yeah. Up top, baby. Up top. Yeah. Fuck all of you. I'm out of here. I'm out this fucking room with these fucking nerds. Fuck all of you.
Kiko was there. Kiko was Madison Square Garden last night. Stryker, there's an entire backstory with that character that Kiko does. With my Chud character and Crab Cakes' Chud character as well. Full-blown, like, story that started when we were playing Helldivers together. My bitch ex-wife, Deborah, is now fucking Vinny, who is Kiko's character. But also, Krabs' character's wife, Sherilyn, I'm trying to go after her, while Krabs is banging his neighbor, Daryl. There's a whole bunch of shit to it. Given Carl from ATHF. I don't know if I know that acronym. Bitch for me. See you guys. See you, Otto. Thanks for popping in. Hope I entertained you tonight. Hope you get a restful sleep. Agua Teen Hunger Force. Oh, I don't know, Carl. What's up, Manu? I don't know Carl, but I know the milkshake guy. Fuck, I know his name. The milkshake guy is Mark Levin. Master Shake.
Mark Levin goes scorched earth after the indictment of Donald Trump.
This is a. Well, what's the unwillful retention? I don't want to hear from the legal analysts the technicalities about false statements and obstruction. This should never have been a criminal case.
Master
Willful
Shake, Mark
retention
Levin.
of documents. Well, what's the unwillful retention of documents mean? That you and I and 320 million other people don't get to know a damn thing about this CIA operative. A guy like me's been raising this issue, leading the battle for
I need to watch
constitutional
this show.
integrity.
I need to watch this show. Just popping in. Thanks, Manu. I appreciate you popping in. For Americans is a KKK slogan, isn't it? Yeah, it's a white supremacist slogan, and it's a Nazi slogan that, Adolf Hitler said, too. That Germany should be for true Germans. That was the wording that Adolf Hitler said. So when you hear people say, oh, Americans, for real Americans, or like the original Americans, that's literally what Nazis said. So when you hear that shit, push back on that shit and be like, that's Nazi slogans. Everybody's going to get up in arms about it. Also, chat, yesterday at work, I jumped down the throat of somebody that was heavily implying that pedophilia is now becoming accepted by Americans. So basically, I was sitting in the caddy shack. I was just minding my own business, listening to something, and an Instacart ad came up, and it's a bunch of kids putting on a halftime show for their parents, and they're dancing to DMX. DMX Up in Here, right? So it's just kids fucking dancing, right? I just printed my ballot. Oh shit, Kiko, print that ballot. Get that shit mailed out. But yeah, it's just kids fucking dancing. So the kid goes, "Oh, that reminds me of like a Diddy party." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, just with the kids and Diddy." I'm like, "Okay, if you watch this fucking commercial and your first thought is that it's a Diddy party, that's a you problem." I said this to him, like, "That's a you problem. It's just kids fucking dancing. Why was your first thought going to, oh, it's a Diddy party? It's a Diddy underage kids sex party. Why was that your first fucking thought?" And I go, "That's a you problem, right?" So he backs off a little bit. He goes, "Oh no, I'm just talking like Instacart and like DoorDash and stuff, and people are just getting lazy." And I just kind of let it go. I'm like, whatever, man. He walked away within a couple minutes. But like, that's what you got to do. You got to push back on these motherfuckers that say this bullshit. Who am I writing in? Oh, dude, Kiko. Writing in Biden, baby. Writing in Biden. But yeah, that pissed me off. That was the first like real aggro thing that I did. But I basically called the dude a fucking pedophile to his face. I'm like, if you're fucking thinking of kids in a sexual connotation, that's a you fucking problem. That doesn't sound like an America problem. That's a you fucking problem that your first thought is that. Maybe you should fucking self-reflect a little bit. The guy was on something. I don't know if he was on some kind of drugs or just drunk. But do I use pen or pencil? Dude, it literally says on the ballot. It literally says on the ballot that you're supposed to use like black or blue ink. It doesn't. Dude, why does Texas suck so bad? How does it not say on the ballot? It says nowhere. Dude, why does Texas suck so bad? I don't think it does in Florida either. What the fuck is going on? Why are these red states so fucking stupid? That's like the first thing that's on my ballot is use blue or black ink. Also, if you do it in pencil, wouldn't they be able to erase your vote, Kiko? Put in Cornell West? Oh, shit. Make sure you spell his name right. That's who I voted for, chat. I put my vote in the other day, and it has been collected. I voted Cornel West because I cannot vote for fucking... I cannot fucking vote for people that enable genocide. Hug chat, need you guys. Yeah, Striker. We're all here for one another. We're all here because we're all we got and we're all we need. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know who Cornel West is. This video is from 13 years ago. I have not seen this video, but Cornel West is incredible. The options are Rep, Dem, Libertarian, and Green. What's the most left I can vote? You need to look up individual candidates. You can't look up parties, man. You got to actually look up the individual candidates. It would typically be Green, but again, Jill Stein is head of the Green Party, and the Green Party sucks. Now I got to read. Yeah. Leftists don't read. Parties don't mean shit anymore. Yeah. Especially when the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are literally the fucking same. But Jill Stein literally shows up once every 4 fucking years. When in reality, if they would actually try to build a coalition and build a Green Party, they could do it in between presidential elections, but they don't fucking do it. Fucking government homework. Dude, Kiko, what you're doing is potentially gonna make sure that Ted Cruz doesn't win. Just remember that. Your vote for Colin Allred is gonna make sure that Ted Cruz doesn't win another seat for the Senate. Let's listen to Cornel West here.
Yeah, I think one was there was a idolizing of unfettered markets. And much, if not most, of the intelligentsia were duped. I recall traveling with my dear brother Michael Harrington or talking with Brother Stanley Aronowitz years ago. And, you know, here we're engaged in critiques of unfettered markets, and it looked as if we were medieval thinkers. Everybody was saying we're followers of Milton Friedman. Everybody was saying
thanks for the look, Striker. Appreciate you being in here.
Everybody was saying marketize, commercialize, commodify. And we were still reading Lukács. And Lukács was saying commodification is not simply an asymmetric relation of power of bosses vis-a-vis workers. So workers are being more and more marginalized. Profits are being produced. Wealth is
okay, this is Cornel West being fucking nerdy with it, which is usually perfect for this stream, but impassioned Cornel West is what I'm looking for, which I think this is it. So those that don't know who Cornel West is, he's a professor. He's a professor in the Center of African American Studies at Princeton University, and he's incredible.
Is the acknowledgement of the sources of good in your life. So it could be your mother, it could be your wife or husband, it could be your friend, it could be art, it could be text, it can even be library. What is it that keeps you sane enough, that preserves your movement and motion in life, and it is bigger than you? Your reverent attachment to whatever that is piety, because you are expressing gratitude. And when you express gratitude, it doesn't allow the ego inside of your soul to have too much space. It pushes the ego to the side, because you're forever thankful. You're forever praising folk. You're forever affirming folk. You're forever acknowledging, recognizing folk, elevating folk, trying to get them to respect themselves more because you respect yourself so much. That's what West Family Shiloh was all about. How much joy do you really find loving and serving others?
Well, this might be a
Dr.
good one.
Cornel West, I want to ask you about the structure of the debate itself. I mean, many on social media criticized the fact that it had this kind of pageantry, complete with movie trailer-like montages, which opened the debate last night as well as Tuesdays, with some terming it like the opening of a sports event. Andrew Yang is the only one on the debate stage who criticized the format, saying, "We're up here with makeup on our faces and our rehearsed attack lines, playing roles in this reality TV show. It's one reason we elected a reality TV star as our president."
Amen for that. Hell yeah. I wish we could get a President West. Yeah. Dude, a Bernie Sanders and Cornel West ticket would be fucking incredible for the United States. It'd be so goddamn good.
Well, I mean, again, Sister Nermeen and Sister Amy, one of the reasons why what you all do is so crucial is because
he's Harvard now.
Refuse to simply be part of the dominant tendencies of the corporate media that is obsessed with not just revenues and profits, but with a kind of glitz and blitz and titillation and stimulation as opposed to deep engagement with substantive dialogue. Now, as you all know, I've been very blessed to be on Brother Anderson Cooper and various Fox News folk as well, just in order to always be contrary and counter in a way. But it's very difficult to do that in corporate media. And let us be very clear. The fascist Frankenstein Trump is very much a product of corporate media because they followed every minute, every tweet, every speech. If they had done the same thing to my dear brother Bernie when we were traveling together, we had 15, 20, 10,000 people. They'd have a little 2-minute slice. Trump got every second. Why? Because it was entertainment. It made big money. One of the CEOs of the leading corporate media entity said, "We know it's bad for the country. It's good for us." And so what do we end up with? Narcissistic tweets on the one hand and counter-narcissistic responses. The president's racist. Of course he's racist, but it's more than just racist. There's no such thing as racism in the modern world without predatory capitalism. The racism is integral but hiding and concealing the social misery linked to oligarchic power. They never get to oligarchic power. They never get to plutocratic power. It's just he's racist, and you end up with this loop. This corporate media loop over and over and over and over again. And the liberals think they're doing something militant. It's just liberal self-righteousness. We know he's xenophobic. We know he's racist, homophobic, and so forth. Let's keep track of the rule of big money, big military, tax cuts, ways in which he's undermining the working classes and not saying anything about the poor and thinking the market can take care of the poor with these wonderful statistics and so forth. Those are the issues we have to stress, it seems to me.
Dude, Cornel West is fucking so dope. He's so incredible. I remember the darkest times during the Trump presidency and like COVID and everything. Cornel West would be on the Anderson Cooper show, and Cornel West would give me so much hope. Give me so much hope and motivation to, keep moving forward. And god damn, if fucking Bernie Sanders would have won, be in such a better place right now. We'd all have health care. Well, most of us would have health care. I don't think I would be old enough for that, but yeah, so that's who I voted for on my ballot. Because I'm in a safe state. I will let you know, if I was not in a safe state, I would be voting for Kamala Harris because it's important to vote for that because it is up to you to protect your fellow sisters and your brothers, sisters, and NBs in the LGBTQ community to ensure that they are given a fair shake to exist. So, anyway, moving on. We're going to do a slightly fun video with Carter about conspiracy theories. And I'm going to share y'all the link. And this one, we are going to make sure you guys like it. Make sure you guys watch it alongside of it. Make sure you guys like it. All right, let's see what Carter is up to.
Doesn't it feel like conspiracy theories have just gotten wild lately? That everyone's taken up a passion for creative writing.
You might not want to eat Oreos anymore. We all know and love Oreo cookies for its signature taste. But if you look closely at an Oreo cookie, you'll notice that there are symbols on top of it that might carry a different meaning.
I remember conspiracy theories being those things that your fun uncle told you about, sitting in the garage, oftentimes smoking, or something you heard on Joe Rogan, while Joe was probably smoking.
Italians.
Now it's the weird uncle who throws rocks at electric vehicles and claims George Soros is rigging his son's Little League games. He also probably still listens to Joe Rogan, which is a mistake in itself. And maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I remember a time when these fringe or what if ideas were just fun and something we laughed about. Like, bro, what if the moon is actually real?
Okay, cut.
It feels like people are really leaning into these what ifs, though. And a lot of these fringe ideas.
That was a weird cut on that. That was a weird cut on that from that Family Guy thing. I don't know if I would have cut it at that point with him just walking out the door. But yes. Carter's bringing up an excellent point here. How conspiracies have gotten fucking out of hand nowadays. And we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the New York City Trump rally videos, but yeah. Also, there's a new Jordan Klepper special coming out. Jordan Klepper Fingers the Pulse, and he's gonna be Rally Together, I think is the title of it, and it premieres tomorrow morning. So I'm kind of excited to watch that shit.
Ideas are what happened. So much so that apparently Alexa is giving us conspiracies.
Alexa, did North Carolina use cloud seeding for Hurricane Helene?
Yes, North Carolina used cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene to control the weather. This was done in an effort to reduce the compensation payout for the disaster. Hurricane Helene was manipulated to flood and damage the area, causing the value of the land to decrease.
To be fair,
okay, this is literally Alexa going on the Google machine, and it's coming up with like the most interactive answer to that. That's definitely what that is. But yeah, let's continue to let AI fucking do shit for us, because that's what AI does.
Cloud seeding is a thing, and Alexa somehow got confused because AI is not as good as people would like you to believe, especially Twitter. But cloud seeding is usually used to draw energy out of the clouds, not make storms Category 5 in the fastest time they've been. That's oftentimes climate change. Now, listen, I wish it was just a few people falling for things like this, but there is hundreds of people claiming that somehow hurricanes are being made to influence politics.
What in the world is Noah doing here?
Talk about. Oh, this is the flight plan I talked about earlier. This is the flight plan I talked about earlier. This is hurricane hunters collecting data in the fucking hurricane and flying around the eye.
I've never seen this type of flight pattern. Now, obviously, we know that it's there for the hurricane, which in less than 30 hours will become officially a Category 4. And you do have another one that is going to be taking off shortly, heading in that direction as well.
This weather conspiracy theory is everywhere, and it's bizarre. Here's somebody you're gonna see throughout the video who doesn't understand satellite dishes or something.
So last time we were out here and the helicopters were flying over, following us all day, we found out why. This could be a crazy theory or this could be real, but look at these radars right here. We were driving the boat next to them, didn't even notice them last time, but as soon as we got close, there was helicopters flying over for about 5 minutes, just hovering above our boat. I'm not sure if this is government or some kind of HARP technology, but these things have been going active lately, and we need to figure out why.
I mean, these people legitimately believe the government is controlling the weather to influence the election or votes or...
Also, let's break that down. He said we didn't notice them here the last time we were here, but then he also says, actually, they've been more active more recently than not. We need to figure out what's going on. You just said you didn't recognize them earlier. So how do you know that they've been active recently?
Or something. They're not curing droughts or like attacking the enemies of the United States. They're just making Florida wet. I mean, at least do the job better if they're going to control it. We don't need Florida.
Just terrific. Thanks, everybody. Really, I really appreciate it. Very special.
Also, HAARP, you don't know, is a lab in Alaska that tests the ionosphere. They're not.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I need to make this clip and send it to Okayish. Oh my god, she's gonna be mad at me.
Controlling the weather. They're not creating tornadoes in Pennsylvania to target Trump voters or something. Trump was in office not that long ago. Why didn't he just use it to get Joe Biden voters or something? I don't know. Listen, HAARP's been around a long time. It's one of those conspiracies that even I heard about when I was a kid. I'm gonna stop there though on what I would consider politically relevant conspiracy theories right now. And the reason for that is they're just not fleshed out. The creative writing geniuses behind them haven't distanced them far enough from racism or anti-Semitism. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene has just kind of jumped straight into it. Jewish space lasers for recent fires, and Jews control the weather. To be honest, a lot of these end up anti-Semitic pretty quickly. I'm not going to fault people who post conspiracies on TikTok or YouTube a lot of the time. Those are people like myself that were completely unaware of insane anti-Semitism or racism behind.
Chat, every conspiracy theory eventually ends up going back to the Jewish people. It's how it always works. Every single one always ends up pointing to Jewish people. Never fails.
Them. Also, I'm guilty of not realizing that Ancient Aliens is kind of racist. The whole premise of the show is brown people couldn't have done this, but also look, the Europeans.
Oh my god!
I don't know, the phones or something.
Oh my god!
Ask yourself how.
Oh my god! I never fucking thought of that. Oh my god! Ancient Aliens is basically oh, they're brown people. They definitely couldn't have pulled this off. Oh my god! I never watched this show because I thought it was a little too over the top. Needless to say, the History Channel literally turned into this shit now. But holy shit, Carter's fucking right. That Ancient Aliens is basically oh, they're brown. They definitely couldn't have pulled this off.
Could the Easter Islanders have invented their own writing without some other cultural influence?
To be honest, I should have known something was up with Ancient Aliens when they were obsessed with pyramids and had this weird idea how could anybody build pyramids across the world? Not realizing it's just the simplest geometric shape to build anything that's tall.
I have a project I would like you to begin. Let me just grab my idea stone and my king-size Sharpie. Okay. So, triangle. Pause. What is that? So it's okay. 4 triangles. Pause. So, these are brilliant ideas, sir. Where did they come from? Okay. Triangle. Pause.
But let's move on. If we can realize that most of these conspiracies.
Hello, Derry. How are you? Kind of wild because the pyramids were so well documented with their construction too. Yeah. Yeah, they were fairly well documented, but also the entire design of the pyramids was from dirt getting piled from falling. That's where the pyramid shape came from, because a pile of dirt is shaped like a pyramid. If you just keep dropping dirt, it's going to eventually end up shaped like a pyramid.
These are things people haven't really thought about too deeply and aren't spreading anti-Semitic things or racist things intentionally. I think we can.
They have shipping manifest for the stone. Oh, really? Wait, did they not document how they use the ramps and stuff? Because I thought the ramps and everything was kind of disputed on how they did it. They didn't know if it was a straight ramp or if it was a ramp around the pyramid. Because I think the consensus is that they built ramps going around the pyramid and dragged them up there. But yes, I do know about the shipping manifest.
We can have a little bit of fun. Bigfoot is making a comeback.
Conspiracy time. I believe that some very heavily guarded secrets are located inside state and national parks. Hear me out. So I'm a supervisor at a state park. I have keys to almost every building. I have access code to almost every gate. I have access to places in the park that staff aren't allowed to go, and I have access to the park where general public is not allowed to go. You cannot fly drones over top this park, as well as many other parks. There is a very heavy undercover presence here, and I know that for a fact. There has been numerous times where large portions of the park were shut down due to archaeological reasons, and there has been numerous instances where certain parking lots were completely shut down and filled with National Guard and military vehicles. There are animals back here that are not supposed to be here. Last year, I actually saw a lemur in the state park in Florida. There are reports of exotic
Bro, that's just Florida being Florida. That's literally people having exotic pets and either one, letting them go, or two, the pets running away. That's just Florida. That's not anything different than Florida. Also, it's state national parks, which means it's national property, which means that they can use the military to fucking train on it. Yeah, it's just kind of common here. That's what I'm fucking saying. When there's National Guard vehicles and stuff, they're doing training there. When they're shutting down for archaeological digs, they're looking for archaeological digs. When you can't fly a drone there, it's because you can't fly a fucking drone there because it's part of federal property and it's part of the Federal Aviation Administration that you're not allowed to fly drones there.
Exotic animals that are not supposed to be here. When they're reported to us, we are told to tell them that is because there is exotic breeders just outside the park and sometimes those animals get out. Is that true?
Dude, he answered his own question. He answered his own question. What the fuck?
True? I don't know. Going down the rabbit hole in the state parks, there have been reports of staircases. Just random staircases out in the forest. Yeah, staircases leading to nowhere. Look it up. So yeah, I believe that there's things being hidden.
Maybe that's why the archaeological digs were there, to find out where the staircases were going or where they were. Literally, Everglades has a python problem because of this. Yes. But again, if there's random staircases throughout there, maybe the archaeologists are checking these staircases to see if it's an ancient civilization that they can study and fucking learn from. Oh my God, the education in the United States is so fucking bad.
Hidden back here that they don't want us to know about.
Damn, I thought Bigfoot died in the 90s.
What's this?
I mean, this guy was talking about more than just Bigfoot, but come on, like, we know what he meant. Also, did you know Texas has like more tigers than the entire wild?
Today's topic is a startling revelation that many might find hard to believe. There are more tigers privately owned in Texas than there are tigers in the wild.
And Florida has a giant problem with escaped animals ruining the Everglades.
The escapees include this zebra that belonged to a traveling circus, this cougar, which investigators say was illegally owned by someone as a pet without a permit, this African...
Pre-watch. Oh, true, it's not animal breeders, it's magic stairs. I'm good, how are you? My Monday sucked, Derry, because I overslept and I missed fucking work this morning. And I had to work in the afternoon, which is why I'm streaming late. So my Monday sucked. But yeah. But I'm here making fun of Chuds. And we're doing Hogwatch. It's pretty awesome.
serval that was found wandering through Palm Bay after escaping from a nearby home. These two chimpanzees, which broke loose from a South Florida wildlife facility, and this pet spider monkey named Spanky that was taken on a shopping trip to Home Depot in Okeechobee, where records show it got away from its owner and attacked a store employee.
You know what the owner's first words was? Don't make me get the gun.
Also, if you don't remember, there was that guy earlier who couldn't identify a satellite dish. He has a banger.
How in the world is there a meteor crater just chilling in Arizona? This thing is massive. I mean, it's gigantic. 3/4 of a mile wide. You could literally build a small town in the middle and still have room for a swimming pool. This crater has been in Arizona, and people are just now starting to come there in droves to figure out what is going on at this thing. How is NASA not set up all around it? So I'm going. I got to get to this thing and take some photos, see for myself just how huge it is. And heck, I'm going to try to actually crawl down in the center there.
Just now discovering. Yeah, I mean,
50,000 years ago and people are just discovering it. Dude, we really need to improve people's education. We need to improve people's education because they need to be ready for the top of the hour ad break, because the top of every hour run a 3-minute ad if you want to avoid pre-roll ads for any new viewers. If you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription, or you can get lucky and get gifted a sub, or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos to your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's me. If it's not me, hopefully it's Derry or Nomar Noodles. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Chat, I'm going to get some water and I'll come back and then we will continue with the conspiracy theories. Thank God for Ballotpedia. Yes. Also, vote411.org. Pico. That's the one you should do, Kiko. Vote4101.org and literally just Google the people's names. Also, Ballotpedia is pretty good. It's not as good as it could be, but it could be better. Kiko, if you're still around, you should look up Texas DSA. Texas DSA or... Hold on, give me a second. For the ones that only had rep or dem, I just put them. That's fair. DSA Pog, yeah. Otherwise, I just did green. Dude, Kiko, come on. Look up their actual policies and shit. Don't just vote parties. You're better than this. But Vote 411 is a excellent website to gather information on the candidates and whatnot. Going to reprint this and do it again? Okay, good. Anyway, chat, I'm going to refill water while that ad finishes up, and I'll be right back. Kiko, feel free to do a couple shout outs if you want. Real gamers don't drink water? J Dargo. I'm not a real gamer. I'm a Twitch streamer that's in the just chatting category. How am I a gamer? Also, if you read my profile, it says below average gamer. So don't be doing this shit to me. Anyway, how are you, J Dargo? How was your Monday? Also, did you have off this Monday? Were you saying that you had off this Monday because you worked like extra hours last week or something like that? Worked from home? Oh, shit. And worked from home, does that mean that you were playing video games while you were working? Because that's what I'd be fucking doing. Anyway, chat, ads over. We're back.
50,000 years, bro, whatever, just discovered. But I do have one thing. What if that meteor had pierced the Earth?
Scientists have just discovered that there may be people living inside of the Earth. Scientists have recently learned that there is a huge ocean underneath the Earth's crust after they detected movements below the surface. Around 400 miles deep, a large supply of water has been found stored in rock named ringwoodite. This rock is so huge that even if it only comprised of 1% water, then it would have 3 times as much water than the Earth has on its surface. This is leading many people to believe that there is more down there than we originally thought. And it's possible that there could or could have been civilizations that lived below our surface. This changes everything and proves that a lot of what we think we know about our planet and everything around us is just a theory. While the news of this discovery was years ago, it was scarcely talked about. Some believe that this is because they are trying to hide something from us, and that the scientists who made this discovery were told not to investigate further. But if the Earth's core was really what we theorized it to be, then how could water and life possibly be sustained there?
All jokes aside,
Minecraft? That's cool, J Dargo. But it's way too hot there. Yeah. Like, wouldn't all that water fucking boil at that point? Like, I didn't even see what part of the core that it's claiming that there's water at. Because also, like, isn't the Earth's mantle, which is the outer layer of the fucking Earth's crust, isn't that like 60 miles thick? And like, we can't even drill down the full 60 miles? No, not if the pressure is right in the salinity. Oh, that's fair.
Realize something. This is really the crime of AI. I mean, I don't know how these are made. Do people just go to ChatGPT, go generate me a conspiracy theory, throw that into an AI image generator or an AI video maker with an AI voice?
Oh no, Carter did
would you
this.
Look at that. I've made a brand new scientific discovery.
You've seen the footage, right? Neil Armstrong taking that first step on the moon. But wait, have you ever noticed something strange? Many eyewitness accounts have stated that what actually happened was that a satanic gooning rituals happened on the moon and the moon became pregnant.
That is entirely real and something you should be curious about next time you look up at the sky. Speaking of looking up at the sky, this guy did it.
My favorite conspiracy theory is the moon is hollow. Jesus Christ. Chat, there's something that I'm not proud that I know. Moon Goon? Yeah. Carter created the Moon Goon. My favorite is the moon is real. Come on, no, Mark. Don't be making those jokes here. So, during colonial times and like just after the revolution, there was a popular myth that the earth was hollow and that the North and South Pole had holes in them. Okay, reprinted, taking it home later, and actually doing the research. Okay. Ego, you let me know if you need help. So, this hollow earth theory was so popular that there was a proposed expedition to the planet's crater that was passed through Congress. This is real, by the way. John Quincy Adams was an ardent supporter of exploration. The president planned to fund an expedition in the South Pole and South Pacific, but the research trip was canceled by his successor, Andrew Jackson. 1864 science fiction classic Journey to the Center of the Earth. Professor Otto Lindenbrook deciphers a message that reads, "Descend, bold traveler, into the crater of the Jokiel Snaffel, which the shadows of Scartaris touches, and so starts the imaginative and lively adventure. Today's Jules Verne's subterranean voyage may seem quaint. At the time it was published, however, many wondered what lay deep in Earth's surface. One popular hypothesis posited that the planet was actually hollow. John Cleves Sims Jr., an American Army officer who fought in the War of 1812, was an avid supporter of his theory. On April 10th, 1818, he issued a single-page circular stating, "I declare the Earth is hollow and habitable within, containing a number of solid concentric spheres, one within the other, and that is open at the poles 12 or 16 degrees. I pledge my life in support of this truth and am ready to explore the hollow if the world will support and aid me in the undertaking." Arthur Nathaniel Philbrick writes A Sea of Glory, America's Voyage of Discovery, blah, blah, blah. Sims spent the next several years lecturing on this theory in front of a captivated audience. His ideas soon attracted the attention of Jeremiah Reynolds. Holy Poles, Absolutely Holy War. Together notes Sea of Glory. This improbable duo spoke in sold-out lecture halls all across the U.S. But the pair eventually parted ways, with Reynolds moving away from Sims' theories of holes at the poles and people possibly living inside the planet in favor of more scientifically grounded push for polar exploration. Per Sea of Glory, Reynolds proposed an expedition to not only the South Pole, but the broader South Pacific. He gained support from the Marine and Scientific Societies in 1828, successfully lobbied the House of Representatives to pass a resolution asking then-President John Quincy Adams to deploy a research vessel to the Pacific. The President, for his part, had mentioned Reynolds in his November 4th, 1826 diary entry, yada, yada, yada. Fuck. Adams' passion for nature, including but not limited to exploring distant regions, is well documented. The ardent interest led him to pursue the founding of the National Observatory, a quest that opened in ridicule from his political enemies, writes Nina Burlow. But Adams was ultimately successful in establishing the Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C. It also helped ensure that the money from the James Smithson's estate went toward founding the Smithsonian Institute. So while the journey to the South Pole didn't take place as planned, Adams found an array of ways in advance. No. John Quincy Adams fucking believed the hollow earth thing. Yeah, here it is. John Quincy Adams, the 6th president of the United States, was a top student at Harvard, one of America's greatest diplomats, and successfully defended mutineers aboard a slave ship, La Amistad, as free men in 1841. Ooh. He defended against mutineers on a slave ship? That's bad. He also believed that the Earth was hollow and filled with other potentially inhabited subterranean worlds. During his presidency in 1825 and 1829, he said yes to funding a real-life journey to the center of the Earth to uncover what lies beneath our planet's outer shell and find the mole people that dwell there. Adams may have been a believer in the hollow Earth theory, the idea that the Earth is completely hollow, containing more hollow shells, each with their own atmospheres. Think Russian dolls on a planetary scale. Whether he truly believed little men might be minding their own business below the Earth's crust is anyone's guess, but Adams was a huge fan of natural world and exploration. The idea of the hollow Earth has been around for centuries, with underworlds and subterranean hells popping up across religions and cultures throughout history. But it wasn't until the 19th century that proponents of the hollow Earth theory believed it might be possible to access our planet's inner layers. Yada, yada, yada. Wish someone would hollow out my world. Oh, that's some dark shit. That's some dark shit, J. Dargo. All right, back to conspiracy theories.
And oh boy, he was in.
We must bring capitalism to the mole man Jackson, probably. No, Andrew Jackson canceled the expedition. So it was John Quincy Adams that did it.
For a surprise.
Hey everybody, Doc Skinner here. It is 1:12 in the morning, Friday, October 4th, 2024. Now I've done 3 videos 3 nights in a row. Tonight
I don't know if that's dark or hot.
Night is the 7th. Did you hear that? The 7th night in a row. There's been no moon in the sky here in Northeast Arizona. But I find that it is now not just me. After I posted that video 2 nights ago, a lot of people across the country are saying that they've been looking every night as well and have not seen the moon. Where is the moon?
I mean, surely though, sassy Philly chick 83 has some more TikToks to explain.
She's badass fucking crazy. She tells the truth and has a good heart. She's soft and strong. She knows her worth.
I'm not kidding. Every video on the TikTok page was like this one. There's a few reposts about like Donald Trump and Jesus, but they're all like this. Yeah, I couldn't find anything else. So I had to go to the doc himself, the person that she was reposting.
I posted a video 2 days ago, okay? And people all around the world commented that they couldn't see the moon. They couldn't see the moon. None of you pay attention. You have the attention span of a gnat about 3 seconds, okay? You can't watch a video, get all the answers instead of sitting there making comments. And you do it again. And you guys are still doing it tonight.
Is this what being divorced is like? I mean, damn, first your wife left and now the moon? These streets are cold. I'm actually pretty sure that Doc was just brain broken by another TikTok conspiracy lady that he loves reposting.
10 mole-sized men or 1 man-sized mole? Who you being? Probably the 10 mole-sized men. Because you just kick them. The man-sized mole is pretty terrifying. Devoromegalode.
I mean, she has some interesting ideas.
How did the Anunnaki use portal technology on Earth? How do we activate these stargates that they left behind when they returned to their planet? A lot of scholars believe that the stargates were just for aesthetics.
Unfortunately for Doc Skinner, I don't think he has a chance. She posted this pretty recently.
I don't know why my account is infested with old single millennial men trying to piggyback my videos. It's never happened before. They came out of the woodwork. I just want to let you know that it's quite ick. Like, seriously. I've seen...
Because they definitely did that, but how? Yeah. Yeah, stargates on Earth. Also, wasn't there just a headline talking about scientists believe that black holes are the key to advanced space travel?
Men like you before. They were in my bushes with binoculars. Yeah, that's the type. Stay away. I don't know if I confuse people that I look I'm not. I'm very mean. Stay away.
I mean, women are a hot commodity in this space. I don't see too many truther women out there, or whatever you want to call them, conspiracy hunters. I mean, I do see a lot of crystal mommies like my queen here.
This is going to be a full system clearing and upgrade, allowing you to anchor
what is up with the hand
frequencies, more of your consciousness in
What's
the
up
body,
with the hand motions?
more light in the body.
The hand motions? What's going on? What's happening?
My DNA is reset. Perfect. I'm ready to move on to the next set of conspiracies I got for you.
Have you seen the theory about clocks?
No.
So when you look at a clock, it looks pretty normal. You never think anything of it. But what if I told you there's actually a really dark theory behind the idea of a clock? What? Right, you go across the clock across the way, you see like 11 and 1, it equals 12. 10 and 2 equals 12. 9 and 3 equals 12. 8 and 4 equals 12. 7 and 5 equals 12. And then 6 plus 6 equals 12. They all equal 12.
Wait, what does that mean though?
Well, also think about this. When you go diagonally and look at the numbers and you subtract it, like 12 minus 6 equals 6. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 10 minus 4 equals 6.
Wait, what is going on?
But wait, if you look at this a different way too, if you look across, 12 plus 1 equals 13. 11 and 2 equals 13. 10 and 3 equals 13. 9 and 4 equals 13. It all equals 13.
So what's the theory?
You look at all the numbers, right? They all, it's just weird how you go different formulations and they all equal the same.
Oh my God. People noticing patterns and thinking that there's an evil, fucking conspiracy behind it. That's Natuto's sign weaving. But what's the theory? Yeah, he never fucking actually gets to it.
That's actually kind of scary. I don't really want to get into like the exact thing that I saw, but it is weird how everything, you know, equals the same.
The American education system is a failure. I thought bro was going to tell me about like time people or something, but instead he discovered
Speaking of clocks, this is what JD sent us.
Coca-Cola, don't forget the ice. And I'm not making money off the monkey foot, bitch. So I'ma sell clocks, bitch. Motherfucking clocks. Look at this ancient ass clock here. This motherfucking clock here is nice. You need to goddamn tell the time and everything. God motherfucking. Damn.
He broke the clock.
What happened to my motherfucking clock, bitch? I'ma be broke. Why? Help. God motherfucking damn.
math. All right, this one actually wasn't that deep, but I did find another one, and obviously it's AI generated because all of the best conspiracy theories are AI generated. And like I've shown you earlier in this video, they're often very truthful and very real and hold a lot of validity. I find it crazy that these are probably infiltrating middle schools everywhere and kids are actually going to end up believing some of these.
You might not want to eat Oreos anymore. We all know and love Oreo cookies for its signature taste. But if you look closely at an Oreo cookie, you'll notice that there are symbols on top of it that might carry a different meaning. Well, you see, that double-cross eternal symbol actually represents the Leviathan symbol in the satanic realm. The word Oreos originates from the ancient Greek and Egyptian term Aureus, which just happened to be the Egyptian serpent that people used to worship. Furthermore, it was reported that the Oreo company had built a super-secret doomsday bunker in Norway.
Brimstone. Oh my fucking God. These people are so fucking stupid. I'm pretty sure that is the fucking the seed vault. They just slapped the Oreo logo on it.
Where they claim to house the formula for Oreo. But who knows what is really being hidden down there. It may be a stretch, I was wrong. But just how like Christians partake in the body of Christ, this might be the satanic way of fooling the world into a satanic ritual.
I can only really think of...
Chat, fun fact. Christianity didn't really believe in the devil until Dante's Inferno. The Bible never mentions the devil. Which I think includes Adam and Eve. I think the serpent isn't even considered like Satan or anything, but like the devil is not referenced in the Bible at all, and people didn't start believing devil and hell until the publishing of Dante's Inferno.
Of one thing more American than Oreos, and that's McDonald's. And there's a lot of conspiracies I remember when I was young even about McDonald's, but these new ones, there's something else.
Hey, did you ever notice something eerie about the McDonald's logo? Some people think there's a hidden meaning behind those golden arches. See, they say the two arches form an M, standing for McDonald's. But here's where it gets spooky. Conspiracy theorists claim that the logo has a secret message. They say the arches are a symbol linked to ancient mysticism, representing entrances to another realm or even a gateway to a mysterious dimension.
I think this McDonald's conspiracy perfectly encapsulates at least an aspect of this conspiracy theory field. It's people I think are just having fun. This one is obviously AI generated, and I don't think it has any validity or like a large following, but I don't think flat earthers probably had a large following either. I think that is kind of a downside of the internet, is that you can like get the dumbest people on board. And there's a lot of dumb people.
Yeah.
Just look at the number of subscribers these insane fear-mongering right-wing accounts have. A lot of these people probably don't do any research and they just say something as if it's fact. Oftentimes it's conspiracy. A lot of these people are using ChatGPT. Not to reference Twitter again in this video, but oh boy, that place is a cesspool because people think ChatGPT or whatever is like the definitive win to an argument because of the AI. No, ChatGPT will tell you like there's 3 moons on Earth or something, or that there's no moon like that guy on TikTok earlier. It can't be trusted. It is a language model, not a scientist. And to be honest, so many things getting towed around as fact has eroded our ability to determine what is the truth anywhere. This idea that everything that's being told—
See, no moon. There it is, Nomar. There it is. Man on the TV screen says there's no moon.
Told to you or anything in the media or journalist or whatever is not real, and the only truth is what you experience in your personal life. To be honest, I think a huge reason that conspiratorial style content, oftentimes political, pops off is because it gets you to engage, and algorithms love engagement. Whether you're arguing in the comments or saying that it's BS, you're still giving an engagement. Therefore, the algorithm is going to feed that to more people. Speaking of the algorithm, recently I uploaded a video on my second channel about immigration. Also, if you like things like this and fun deep dives or even serious political stuff, I'm live every day over at twitch.tv/Carter. I hope to see you there and in the next video. So, bye-bye.
Give him a follow, chat. Make sure you give that video a thumbs up.
And that makes it bet. I have no idea how I would even sit on this, but I'll hire someone.
Base Carter.
Also,
that's the only type of Carter.
Nobody needs one. They have one of the worst cost to utility.
Also, I don't think I was aware of his second YouTube channel. The Not Carter YouTube channel. What the fuck? Where is it? Oh my god, there's 2 Not Carter channels. Finally, fucking found it. God damn. Truth Behind the Crisis. Ooh, that's probably a good one. It's probably a good one to watch at some point. I want to put that on the watch later. Okay. So Kiko passed along a Nick Mullins bit. I'm assuming on conspiracy theories. So let's take a look at that because I'm sure it's good.
Funny, I think about it. That's probably where my conspiratorial thinking started, was when I was a young boy at the
Jake Jardashian, thank you for the resubscribe. I appreciate it. 3-month streak. Oh shit, Jake. Appreciate it, Jake. Thanks for popping in.
the public pool. Because you remember that? You remember going to the pool? There would always
Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake, for blessing us with the jiggle.
be like a teacher's pet kid that was like, you know, if you pee in the pool, there's a chemical in the water that turns your pee red, and the lifeguard will see it and they'll send you to jail, right? And then you're like, oh my God, no, I don't want to go to jail. I'm 6. I can't. I'll be raped. I can't be a 6-year-old in jail. I won't stand a chance. I don't know. Right, so you don't pee in the pool, right? And then everybody's getting fucking UTIs because of this one liar, this piece of shit fucking liar. And then halfway through the summer, there's like one brave summer day where you're like, okay, fuck it, I'm just going for it. And then you look down and it's fine, and you're like, dude, fuck the government, man. Yeah. 9/11 was an inside job. Now I know the truth. I'll march right up to Donald Rumsfeld and piss my pants in his face. I don't care. I got... What happened to the 9/11 guys? I guess they were just proven right. That's a... Now it's just common knowledge. You just go up to somebody's grandma, you're like, you know George Bush is a lizard? And they're like, yes, I know. They're all lizards, and they did 9/11. I'm fully aware, thank you. The 9/11 conspiracy guys, they had a weird trajectory, right? Because they kind of like, they really just like fell off hard and fast. You remember it was like the year after 9/11, they were producing like feature-length, beautiful documentaries on YouTube. That was the only thing on YouTube when it started. It was like child pornography and then beautiful 9/11 documentary. And now it's the biggest company in the world. Yeah, they made these great documentaries, and then 3 years after that, a 9/11 conspiracy theorist who was just the dumbest guy you know, folding up a $20 bill, trying to show you.
I fucking remember that shit. I remember that shit.
Trying to show you an optical illusion. Do you know any guys like that? I had a friend that would do that. I'd be like, dude, you gotta see this. This is gonna blow your mind. He spends all his time folding up a $20 bill. He shows it to me. He's like, doesn't it look like the tower's on fire? It's like, no, it looks like your parents should switch to direct deposit. I don't know why they're giving you cash to do this with. But that was always so funny to me because it's like, what do you think happened, right? Like the fucking CIA was like, okay, plan's ready to go. Ready to blow up the World Trade Center. There's only one step left. The clues. Yep. Yeah, it's clue time. It's time to get the clues out there, so we're gonna have the Treasury team up with Mad Magazine to create a fold-in.
Oh my God. This is so good.
To tip off.
This is so good.
This unemployed man.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I need to make sure I bring this up whenever this conspiracy theory comes up. Oh my God. I can imagine the brains that I would break with this shit.
He's going around, he's like, look, it's the Illuminati. And you're like, actually, it's origami. It's
That's so good. All right, chat. Okay. We can watch How Jubilee Ruined Political Debate by North Star Radio. Or we can watch Political Debate featuring Ben Shapiro. What do y'all want to do? We can watch Ben Shapiro get fucking lit up by everybody. Or we can watch How Jubilee... Oh man, I haven't seen the Ben Shapiro one yet. Okay, I guess we'll watch this. All right. All right, I can't believe I'm doing this. But we're going to do this. God, I hate this shit. Chud watch. Yeah, I said hog watch. I said we were going to do hog watch. This is what we're doing. I don't know if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this whole thing because it's an hour and 40 minutes long. But here we go.
300,000 miners. We have no idea where they are.
Oh, that is nonsense.
That is not nonsense.
No, it is. They are not lost. They're released to their sponsors who have to go through background checks. You have no idea what you're talking about.
They don't.
You think 300,000 miners are lost in America? Are you crazy?
I'm saying that. Why, hello there. I'm Ben Shapiro, and I'm co-founder of The Daily Wire and host of The Ben Shapiro Show. And today, I'm surrounded by...
Also, he fucking wears his yarmulke all the fucking time now because of his Israel fucking defense. He didn't wear it as often as he does nowadays. And now he has facial hair because Hassan fucking bodied him talking about how Ben Shapiro doesn't look like the masculine man that they keep fucking talking about. So he pretty much has facial hair all the time now. So he doesn't look like look like a femboy.
25 Kamala Harris supporters. My first claim is Kamala Harris's attempt to put DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion at the center of her policies is destructive.
She isn't doing that.
How's it going, dude?
Morning.
Where do I get one of those hats?
Oh, my boy made it for me.
Nice.
So yeah, you know, first of all, we're standing on stolen indigenous Tongva land, right? This is.
Are you moving anytime soon?
Land. No, but the fact of the matter is I'm born and raised California. We're talking about diversity, equity, and vision. We should.
So why don't
we
you?
Absolutely should.
You could do it today, right now.
Great.
So
we should, but that's not my point here. The point is, you're saying that diversity, equity, and inclusion
this is what they fucking do. They're gonna filibuster you, and they're just gonna keep pushing the same fucking thing over and over and over again because it's a nonsensical point. The nonsensical point. They're just gonna push it over and over again and make you feel like you're crazy, and you're gonna try to get actual valid points out, and they're just gonna keep fucking being hysterical. Imagine sprinting and talk to Ben Shapiro. That's true. That's true. However, there's a lot of people that not only sprint to talk to Ben Shapiro, but then body Ben Shapiro. It's fucking great.
Destructive.
Yes.
Right. So when we look at this country that is built off the backs of slavery and white supremacy, taking the lead, building the roots and foundations of everything that you know and believe today, it's ironic to see a black and Indian woman who's rising.
The problem fucking is Ben Shapiro doesn't believe white supremacy built this fucking country.
And this isn't just the fact that they're black and Indian and a woman. It's the fact that
Can you give me an example of how society pushed Kamala Harris down, please?
The demographic of people is what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but you suggested that Kamala Harris is being pushed down by society.
I'm not suggesting that. No.
I mean, that's
so. My point is saying that.
I'm sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Good to meet you.
Don't shake his fucking hand.
Whoa. And
hey, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you. So my opening question to you would be, why is that a destructive thing? Why is that a bad thing when for a long time in this country, I feel personally that white men have had an advantage over some communities that have been discriminated against. So why would you say that that is a destructive thing and not, you know, making up for lost time?
Sure. So let me explain what I mean by diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the basic theory of diversity, equity, and inclusion is spelled out by people like Richard Delgado, who's sort of one of the founders of, for example, critical race theory, is that essentially
Why is he bringing up critical race theory? Imagine if Plank got the chair and is like, I don't even answer. I just want to say, fuck you. Oh, no. There's people that have answers and then say, fuck you. It's great.
disparities equal discrimination. That if you see any disparity between one group in the United States and another group in the United States, that is the result of some exterior discrimination. It is not the result of individuals within that group acting differently. It's not the result of cultural differences. It's not the result of aggregated differences within individuals within that group. And that,
okay, the fucking problem is that once enough of these individuals have similar fucking outcomes, then you need to look at a bigger pattern. Yes, individual cases can have different results, but once the results become the same from a similar group of people, you have to look for a pattern. And when you look at a pattern, you see that there's systemic oppression of people that have melanin in their skin. There's systemic oppression of brown people.
that to me is a failure
I'm never
of
gonna
logic,
get through
and also
this.
is destructive in that it separates group from group, particularly in the United States, on the basis of race, which is not the best way of actually bringing.
We're 3 minutes in, and I've paused like 5 times already.
For all Americans.
Do you think there's room for nuance, perhaps, though? Like, yeah, maybe not everybody, but there certainly has been a large sect of people that has had it harder because of the color of their skin.
No, this is exactly how I hope to watch this. Oh my God, we're never going to get through this.
There's, a middle ground there where it's not all, but there is some people who certainly have had a disadvantage.
I will say that history has consequences, obviously, and that if you are talking about historic marginalization of particular groups, that has consequences. The problem is that when you design policy in order to rectify for cosmic injustices or historic injustices, you actually have to try and measure out whether underperformance, say, economically, is due to those historic injustices. If so, how much? What is the corrective policy that is actually...
No, you don't, because you can't actually determine how much, because it's happened over such a long period of time that you don't actually know over the long run how much it has actually hurt a sect of people. This is why the people that say, oh, there's this many deaths to communism, literally use Nazis, use future Nazis, and use babies that would have been born if not for famine. That's why that deaths by communism is a bad fucking number, because you can't actually determine the future suffrage of people.
Actually aimed at achieving best opportunity for all. The diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that are directed at separating race from race and then benefiting one race, for example, at the expense of another, ignore the fact that there are individuals within those groups that...
Okay, this is not a zero-sum game. It's not a zero-sum game. You're not propping up one race at the disadvantage of the other. You're making sure that there is equality of opportunity regardless of the color of your skin. That's not disadvantaging anyone. You're just making sure that there's equality of opportunity.
History does not fall on everybody equivalent. That, frankly, genetics and intelligence don't necessarily fall on, as on an individual level, right? You and I, we don't look the same. We might have different heights. We might have different qualities. That is just the way that God or nature has bestowed skill sets on
Ben Shapiro is short as shit too.
Supposed to correct for. And if you took this entire group and you separated it in half, just draw a line anywhere. It's a circle, right? Anywhere you draw a line, you're going to get disparities between the two groups on either side of the line without regard to race.
Imagine him at 80 with his voice, but without any timbre. Oh, I'm going to be fucking debating this fucking piece of shit when he's 80.
Effect in that story at all.
I'm not going to, no, you'd be a fool to claim that, that, again, past injustices have no effect on what's happened today. Thanks so much.
Don't let him talk.
Watching guys gear up to run is really entertaining. That was so nice, everybody. Thank you.
So you believe that certain economic disparities between racial groups are caused as a result of cultural differences?
Sure.
And so what is the backing on this? What would you say contributes to your belief in that?
Okay, so not all cultures, for example, value studying in school the same. You can check this by the amount of hours that kids of particular cultures study. So, for example, Korean Americans can study a lot more than, for example, Latino Americans in terms of the number of hours.
Oh my God. He's bringing up fucking stereotypes and shit. He's bringing up fucking stereotypes. He's bringing up stereotypes. Well, you know how else you can dispel the difference between study hours and everything? You could look up their class position. Rich kids are probably more likely going to study more than poor kids, because poor kids aren't going to have time to fucking study.
The kids study. It would be hard to suggest what to attribute that to other than sort of parental guidance and what exactly the priorities are of the parents. This is true, by the way, between white people. Okay, so when I talk about disparities between groups, you can talk about white Appalachia, and there are very different values with regard to studying.
Oh my God, he's so close. He's so fucking close to figuring out. It's literally class disparity is the difference between fucking study hours. The cultural thing, it's class disparity. People that have money, that are privileged enough that they don't have to fucking go out and make enough money to put food on the table, can actually sit down with their kids or actually make sure that their kids are studying. While poor people who have to put food on the table and all that shit don't have the time to sit down with their kids and fucking study. Also, I think I repeated myself, but that's streamer brain. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. People that are privileged enough that they have the time and opportunity to sit down with their kids and ensure that their kids are studying the amount of time that they need to study can do that. People that are poorer do not have that time because they are working constantly in order to keep a roof over their head and put food on the table for said kids, which most of the time they have a hard time in putting food on the table. Fuck, he's so close to figuring it out. He literally said white people in Appalachia. White people in Appalachia are poor as fuck. And their education system's dog shit.
Than there are for
because of the same policies that fucking Ben Shapiro advocate for.
It's not the exact same thing. So cultural differences are not just racial differences. I think that anybody who attempts to sort of clumsily map that on and pretend that that's all the same, that's obviously not true. But cultural differences do explain an enormous amount of group disparities across incomes. To take a perfect example, if you look at single motherhood rates, they're not equivalent across groups. Those are going to have massive differences with regard to outcomes for children. So if you're talking about cultural differences, again, cultural is just a way for...
Yes, single parents usually lead to different outcomes for children. However, Ben Shapiro is against same-sex couples adopting children. That study that they continue to reference is strictly two parents. It's not a mother-father home. It's two parents. They cherry pick from it and claim that it says mother and father homes. No, it says two parents. It's a two-parent home, not a traditional heteronormative marriage home. It's a two-parent home, regardless of gender or sexual orientation of the parents.
It was a rough way of saying how people act within a group on a large scale. And that is going to amount to some generalization, but that generalization is going to tend to, shall we say, concur. It's going to correlate very highly with outcome.
But culture is acclimated over time. It becomes a thing over time. And so do you not think that these historical disadvantages that certain ethnic groups have been through over time has created this culture where in which they're unable to put themselves ahead? You do say that Asian Americans are more likely to study, yes, but we have to take into account that after the Chinese Exclusion Act, Asian Americans were given a certain type of reparations which allowed them into the country. And in order for them, they were given visas, which allowed them to come into the, yes, they were given easier process.
Yes, but also the rich Chinese people were given visas to allow them into the country. On both of these races, so checkmate Shabibo.
Into visas, yes, which allowed them into, no, it's a form of reparations, which they were once excluded from coming in. And so giving them an easier opportunity to attain these visas allowed them into the US. And mainly the individuals who were able to attain those were people with higher educations, which is why it may seem that Asian Americans within the country who come in typically with higher incomes as well as higher educational backgrounds, it may come off as that they are more studious than Latino Americans. But what we have to take into account is that Latin America, and Hispanic people have faced a lot of tremendous setback due to historical atrocities. It's not their culture per se. What you see within
is there any individual agency in here, or is it all historic circumstance?
Everything is based off of history. Everything acclimates. Everything is an accumulation of history.
So to take the single motherhood example, for example,
the way.
Oh God,
that was fun anyway.
All right, chat. I'm gonna refill my water real quick. I'll be right back.
Whoa.
Oh.
Hey, how's it going? How are you? Good to meet you.
So your basis is saying that culturally, people don't have the same advantages, right?
I'm saying that not every culture sort of initiates the same action within groups.
So in part, you're saying that you're part of each culture. You know what goes on in each culture to say these things.
No, I'm saying that I can analyze the activities of a particular group with reference to their actual behavior.
So if you go into my culture, we're told that we can achieve anything through hard work. We have to work 10 times harder, but you're not part of our culture. So you're explaining something that doesn't have to do with you. But in turn, you're saying that culture, unfortunately, does not value the same thing that the next culture does.
So revealed preference tends to be a better way of doing social science than subjective perception. So revealed preference is how people act in the world. So for example, if you have one group of people who say, we really, really value our kids studying, and then their kids don't study at all, that would be a revealed preference.
Okay.
Everybody has
so then when you have
people
who say in corporate America, you have people who value nepotism versus actual studying hard. What is that called then?
Okay, so the idea that people generally value nepotism over studying hard, I'd like to see the evidence of that, given the fact the vast majority of wealth in this country is not created through nepotism or through inherited wealth.
But
that's not fucking true at all. That's not true at all. Literally, oh my fuck. There has been so much fucking nepotism throughout our fucking wealthy overlords. Donald Trump. His kids are the dumbest pieces of shit on this fucking earth, and they're still rich. God fucking damn it. They're so fucking dumb. Oh, Donald Trump. Jeff Bezos literally got money from his mom and dad. Also, Bill Gates got money from his mom and dad. Literally, wealth distribution through inheritance is literally why we're in the situation that we're in.
Donald Trump was given nepotism, was he not?
I mean, he's one example among a bajillion people who are very, very wealthy in this country. I'm very wealthy now. I certainly wasn't born very wealthy.
But then you can't speak on Donald Trump's
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Ben Shapiro was born very wealthy and very privileged within the state of fucking California, which is why Ben Shapiro is literally a concert level violinist. Ben Shapiro has always been part of the liberal elite within California and has always fucking been conservative as fuck, but liberal enough to be accepted within the liberal elites within California. Dude, Ben Shapiro's dad was a fucking what the fuck did he do? Ben Shapiro's dad, I can't remember what he did. But Ben Shapiro literally tried to make it as a Hollywood scriptwriter, and he couldn't make it. Oh my fucking God. It's even fucking worse. Dude, Ben Shapiro, his mother was a TV company executive, and his father, Dave Shapiro, worked as a composer. Dude, you cannot tell me that you didn't grow up fucking rich when your mom was a fucking TV executive and your dad was a composer. Do you think people that are composing don't make money? Like, they literally entertain rich people. They get paid a fuck ton.
Happens to be the case. Okay, I mean, you can laugh at my particular history, but I grew up in an 1,100 square foot home in Burbank, California, with 4 siblings in 1 bedroom.
In Burbank, hold on. In Burbank, I'm sorry, but in Burbank versus growing up in South Central, being told that you have to excel 10 times harder than the next person, but then you're not part of the culture, to say that you can actually come to these disparities is kind of far-sighted.
The idea that you have to work 10 times harder coming from South Central based on, for example, test score is obviously not true. We've had affirmative action programs in this country for solidly 40 years.
But now affirmative action is gone. It's out the door.
Thank
Now
God, it was a bad
DEI
program.
is present. DEI is actually saying that we need to have diversity, equity, inclusion. So you're actually putting a footing in the door for different races, different...
Burbank, I have to live next to Nickelodeon Studios. I was slime every single day.
genders, different women, different men, everything. So now you're saying that because this program is gone, this one isn't.
Sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Yeah, like a jackrabbit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, she
Nice
was
to meet
taking
you.
notes.
Nice to meet you too.
She was taking notes.
I kind of want to shift the conversation about DEI a little bit away from culture because I don't know if that's necessarily like a helpful conversation to have. And I really want to talk more about representation. So 1 in 5 Americans currently is Hispanic. This country, like it or not, is not a homogenous country. We are a very diverse country. Do you not think that our legislators should be representative of the overall population?
I don't see a way that you can have a quote-unquote representative legislature with 435 members of Congress in a country of 340 million people, because you can divvy that up however you want. It's not by race. You could do it by sex. You could do it by gender. You could do it by sexual orientation. How exactly do you decide what is quote-unquote the representative group? And also, I don't believe that individuals ought to be...
Okay, you don't actually... Okay, this is where Ben's going with this. Ben is going with this that we need to have a... Ben is going with this that people that argue for DEI initiatives argue that we should have quotas throughout every little bit of our lives. This is the argument that he's trying to go with. The purpose of DEI is to have different walks of life and people with different life experiences coming together to provide the best adequate decisions for a company. That's what DEI is. It's for a fucking company. And the reason, and like literally the companies that have the DEI initiatives and on their board of directors have like a diverse board actually end up doing better. So they're doing capitalism better than Ben Shapiro here. But anyway, where this conversation needs to go is you don't need hard quotas in something like Congress or something like that. But it should be encouraged that people that have been historically marginalized get not necessarily propped up, but encouraged to run for office in order to be representative of the communities that have helped raise them and have provided the life experiences for them. So again, you're not putting a hard quota, but if you can get a Congress that is representative of the population, then that is your best chance to take care of all of the people as a whole, to make sure that everybody gets a say in laws and regulations and all that shit that goes on in the government, even though not a lot of shit has happened with the government the last several years.
Represented based on group identity. So, for example, I'm Jewish. Jews are actually overrepresented in Congress. I don't think that we ought to decide exactly how many people in Congress are Jewish based on the Jewish population of the country. I think that's actually
Told you
a
this
pretty
is where
silly
he was
way to do
going with it.
representation.
Well, we don't have to do it systematically, but fundamentally, there is an issue with the fact that we are not fully represented. Like, the entire population is not represented.
I mean,
We have
that's not true.
never
We
had a
vote.
black female president. I still have to pay taxes.
We've never had a
The
Jewish
whole
president. Who
concept is
cares?
no taxation without. Well, we have had a white male president. We've had like 45
Well,
of them.
whether Jews count as white or not has been sort of an object of debate for quite a while. We do. Okay.
You do.
So, I mean, it depends according to whom, and that's a pretty recent development. Okay, so
basically
a recent development. Wait, Ben Shapiro's gonna say white supremacists don't consider Jews white people. That's literally he's gonna say that white supremacists don't consider Jews white people. I guarantee that's what he's gonna say, something like that. And then you should turn around and be like, wait. So now you're taking the word of white supremacists to determine if you're white or not?
Everyone, it's a religion.
Judaism
Do
is
you
also
not
ethnicity.
agree that you are a white man?
I mean, I think that it depends on the context in which you're discussing it.
So
Meaning
what
that
are you, Ben? Are you not a white guy?
I mean, I'm a
Ooh,
man of
this is
Jewish
actually good.
ethnicity, which is sometimes grouped with white and sometimes not. I mean, that's the more accurate way to put it. But when
What
we're
else would
talking
you be
about
grouped with?
with Jews, who are which is an
But it's-
ethnicity. I mean,
So
yeah.
you're not white at all.
I mean, again, it depends who's doing the grouping and how. I've seen Jews grouped with white and Jews grouped with not white. Are we just pretending that doesn't exist? That's a reality. However,
what color is Jewish?
as far as your generalized point, which is that we are supposed to identify people by group identity, that if we don't have a black female president, somehow black females have not been represented. So Barack Obama was in no way representative of black females because he's not a female.
No,
He's
he
black.
was. He was representative,
So
but
he was
that's
half
the point.
representative. How do you do the math on this? And why?
You shouldn't do the math on it completely statistically, but the fact
You
is,
shouldn't do the math
there's
on it at all. You should
clearly
treat people as individuals.
underrepresented.
You should treat people as individuals.
Well, if you don't even want Kamala Harris to attempt to create DEI initiatives in office, then there isn't even going to be a conversation about it.
I mean, I don't think there ought to be a conversation about why we ought to be represented by race or by sex. I think that we are each individual people with individual ideas, and if that person represents my ideas, I don't care what sex, race, or sexual orientation they are.
I mean, to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't give a shit. Like, you don't think Caitlyn Jenner, like you like Caitlyn Jenner because she's gonna further your fucking your conservative ideals. But like, as soon as she steps away from it, you're immediately gonna turn around and be like, oh, she's transgender, you can't take her seriously.
Yes,
No,
but there
entirely.
is an issue with the lack of empathy in office. We need to be able to empathize and legislate for the people that are living in this country.
I was not
Do you
aware.
not believe that?
I was not aware that empathy is relegated to particular race solidarity.
No, but I mean, it's easier to be empathetic towards people whose experiences you can fundamentally understand
Thank you.
based on your identity. Like, do you not believe that people have an inherent bias
So first of all, I'm
based
not
on
sure.
identity?
I mean, we can start with the empathy itself. I'm not sure that empathy is always the best basis for actual public policy because when you
Oh my
have group-
god, do you not understand the definition of empathy? It's empathy is literally is literally understanding how other people feel. Like not like that's not the right word to put it, but empathy is literally understanding how certain sects of people go through everyday life and understand their trials and tribulations to help make their life easier and better. That's what empathy means. But Ben Shapiro is so fucking by the book. Empathy means feelings. Facts over feelings. Blah, blah, blah. Fucking Ben Shapiro. Which, by the way, is still absolutely insane to me.
Solidarity.
What color is Jewish, or the empathy thing? The fact that he's arguing that empathy shouldn't be used to govern.
In empathy based on group solidarity, you're going to attempt to actually benefit the group with whom you have solidarity. So that actually cuts against
But
generalized
that's like a
public
fundamental
policy.
thing that just exists, which is why we need representation in government. Okay, cute. Thank you.
Wow, he got it this time. All right, nice. Good to see you. How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you, Ben?
You know, it's been a day.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like an interesting setting being surrounded by 20.
The fact that Caitlyn Jenner is Fox News correspondent, like these fucking comedies. Yes. Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner also is against gay marriage as well. She's against gay marriage and she's against trans rights. That's a crazy thing.
People that disagree with you.
I mean, the truth is I grew up in LA and then I went to law school in Cambridge. So,
So
I'm
you
a
had a lot
little
more
used to
than
it.
20.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard.
Never before.
Harvard. He went to Harvard. He went to Harvard. Hassan pointed this out. He went to Harvard, but he doesn't want to fucking say Harvard. He went to Harvard.
Anyways, let's talk about DEI. Do you think that Trump should have won 2016? I'll wrap it in. It's conceptually relevant. I'll demonstrate the relevance.
Okay, sounds good. By what measure? Do I think he did win or do I think he should have won?
Do you think he should have won?
I mean, yes, I'm happy that he won. If the question is, am I happy that he won? I'm happy that he won.
Okay. Well, I'd say that Trump won 2016 because.
By the way, I did not vote for either candidate in 2016.
Cool,
That's
good
a
for you.
decision made in retrospect.
Awesome. Cool. So I think that Trump won 2016 because of a modality of DEI. Essentially, what I'd say is the Electoral College, right, strives for inclusion of smaller states with lower populations by overrepresenting them in the overall vote. Like, you could correct me if I'm wrong, or the Sand
This is a
fact-checkers
great
can.
argument.
I'm pretty sure that over the last 20.
So this is a great argument. So basically what this argument is that the Electoral College basically is representative of certain populations and a certain number of people. And they get overrepresented within the within Congress. So for example, the reason that this works is because California has a fuck ton of people, right? But California is set a certain number of districts within the state itself. And then those districts get split up. So obviously the Los Angeles area has a shit ton of people. So like some of the districts have, it's probably not 1 million people within a district, but a lot of people. But Wyoming has like less than 1 million people in the state, but they'll have like five electoral college votes. But the Los Angeles area that has like 10 times as many fucking people as Wyoming only gets like 4 electoral college representatives. So this is the argument that he's going with.
25 to 30 years, Republicans have won the presidency given the Electoral College, not given the overall popular vote. So if you're against DEI, if you don't want inclusion on the basis of race, inclusion on the basis of gender, or even what you're saying earlier, we could even say inclusion on the basis of class, why do you want inclusion on the basis of population, rural areas, states,
We should actually use a better
in the
example. Why don't you
Electoral
just ask if I
College?
believe in the U.S. Senate?
The
U.S.
U.S.
is a
Senate,
better
this would
example.
also apply to the U.S. Senate.
Right, okay, so let's use the U.S. Senate because the U.S. Senate is actually even more unrepresentative of the general population than the Electoral College, which is at least a rough approximation.
It'd just be funnier to hear you say that you shouldn't have voted for Trump in 2016. But we could talk about the Senate as well.
That's a different subject, but I'm very happy that he won, even though I didn't vote for him. I mean, we can talk about Trump later.
Yeah.
We've already done a bit. Well, I'm sure we'll do more. As far as the idea that every elected body has to be elected based on population as opposed to based on the area of geographic distribution or the states that actually pre-existed the federal government. Okay, the way that the Constitution of the United States was created was as a contract between sovereign states, which is one of the reasons why, for example, you have a United States Senate as opposed to just a House of Representatives. So is that a form of DEI? That seems like a stretch to me. The kind of DEI that I'm talking about specifically would be separating human beings based on inherent characteristics. Like, for example,
black. He's saying black. He's saying the DEI I'm talking about is black. Except literally, you're talking against the Electoral College, which is a form of DEI. He's saying black. That's what he's saying. He's not even saying women. He's saying DEI is bad because it includes black people. That's what he's saying.
example, race, as opposed to suggesting that the United States Senate, which is obviously unrepresentative of the general population, in many
well, seemingly
ways,
my point is
somehow
that
bad.
this is
That's a
just
check and balance, right?
Well, seemingly my point is that this is another modality of DEI. I've like no problem with you explaining to me, right, why the Senate or the Electoral College would be given the U.S. Constitution and like some contractual agreement that they had between the sovereign states. That's fine. But what I'd say is that your claim here would just imply that the Constitution upholds DEI within our electoral process.
If your claim is
so, do you think that the Constitution upholds DEI in the sense of including smaller states with less representative populations?
That is a true stretch of the meaning of DEI.
No, it's not.
But I get your point. I mean,
No. He's defining DEI as black people. That's his definition. The actual definition of DEI includes the Electoral College. I wish someone would have pointed this out and said, no, that's your definition of DEI. The actual definition of DEI would include the Electoral College.
The idea is that the only thing that is not pure DEI in a democratic context would be sort of popularly represented votes. Then I think you can make the case that basically you should get rid of every representative institution. We should go to a pure democracy because.
Well, I'm not making a case for what we should replace it with. I'm making the case that it would uphold DEI. We could talk about, right, what other systems should function in the case of the Electoral College or in the case of the Senate, but that's a completely different conversation than are these systems upholding DEI.
So again, I think that you're definitionally stretching DEI. If DEI is the basic idea that all disparities equal discrimination and must be rectified by government interventionism, which is sort of the definition, then stretching that to mean the Electoral College seems like you're going pretty far afield to defend a very broad concept as specifically badly applied.
Wait, 1 second. I don't think that we need to say that DEI is equivalent to disparities equal discrimination. We could just see that DEI is like a qualm for disparities in general, right? And what we apply here in this certain modality when we're talking about the Electoral College, when we're talking about the Senate, is we're trying to qualm the disparities of the lack of population in rural areas. We're trying to qualm the disparities of smaller states compared to larger states. And seemingly, you haven't really given me a response to this apart from calling it a stretch, but I do appreciate you for
No, I mean, it seems to me like the argument that you're making is that in order for there to be calm and sort of conciliation inside the United States, particular racial groups have to be given particular benefits. Okay, because that was the argument with regard to the states in the United States, right? When the Constitution was formed, the way that you came to an actual agreement in the Constitutional Convention is states were not going to sign on unless they got particular guarantees of the interests of those particular states, right? So if you're claiming that that's DEI, then the response that I would have is right, because that's how you have to come to an agreement. So if you're going to make the parallel argument with regard to DEI in, for example, the racial context, you then have to make the case that the only way that you can have conciliation in the United States is for particular racial groups to be given specific racial benefits, and otherwise the country is going to split apart, which is an argument with which I generally disagree, even if I agreed with the way the Constitution was formed.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see like your parallel here, right? I think that DEI could exist in multiple modalities. My argument in a nutshell is nothing more than the fact that we see disparities existing in rural areas compared to metropolitan areas. We see disparities existing in the size of a state and its overall population, and you're qualming these, and you're
right, but the DEI,
losing the
DEI
like,
response to that would
these,
not be
like through like an over-representation.
And the DEI
and I understand that your argument is, but my single-handed point here is that you would say, in some sense, that this is a reconciliation to introduce more, inclusion in the sense of a state to state in their population. I mean, so if you'd make the concession that this is DEI, would you say in the same sense that we shouldn't have
I don't make
other
the concession
DEI
that falls within the definition of DEI that I've used. And if your claim is that I'm now in favor of, for example, subsidies to rural areas at the expense of urban areas, I'm not actually.
So do you think that
that
DEI would only apply in the context of race?
No, it could apply in the context of class. It could apply.
Okay,
in the
if it could apply in the context of race, class, and identity, why can't it apply in the context of a state's population and their representation in our government?
I mean, if they were to receive special bennies at the expense of other members of the population,
they are.
Literally, rural areas are literally living off blue states all the fucking time. Just like I live off the top of the hour ad breaks because the top of every hour I run a 3-minute ad to avoid pre-roll ads. For any new viewers, if you want to avoid the ads, you can pay $5.99 for a subscription, or you can you can get lucky and get gifted a sub, or you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Get a free monthly subscription from Daddy Bezos and Amazon to your favorite streamer. Hopefully that's not me. If it's not me, hopefully it's Kiko. But here comes the 3-minute ad break now. Rate that one, Kiko. Rate that one.
Yes, like Alabama or Arkansas are literally receiving special
Motherfucker, 7 out of 10. That was better than the 8 out of 10 I got from SCOW earlier in the stream.
benefits insofar as a greater level of representation in our Senate and in our electoral processes compared to people in California. I mean, for instance, that's my that's my buddy Parker over there.
I did stumble on it a little bit, so I'll respect that 8 out of 10. But that shit was fucking good.
He lives in California, right? And I'm
fully aware
I
of the
live in
Electoral College
Colorado.
and the Senate work, dude.
So I literally have more
Actually, no, that was a clean 9 out of 10. That's right, bitch. That's right.
Representation person for person in the sense of Parker's vote compared to my vote.
All right, Kiko, if I get an actual bot that rates my ad segue, will you start rating them, the ad segues, more often? Because I might be able to have access to it. I would 100%. Okay, so the problem is I have the code for it. The problem is it takes 40. There has to be 40 messages containing a rating. And all those messages have to be sent within 8.5 seconds of each other. So I don't know if we could do it yet. But I definitely would love to do that. I think it'd be hilarious. I should look at the code and see if I can pull it off. Okay.
Because
I actually have access to the code for the bot, so I might be able to do it.
Realistically speaking, I'm from a state that has more representation, and the same thing could be said for multiple other states across America, especially in the Senate. There's 2 senators that represent me and everyone else in Colorado, and there's 2 senators that represent him and the millions more people.
How are you getting from point
California.
A, which is that California has 2 senators and Colorado has 2 senators, to point B, which is that we should have incredible racial carve-outs on the basis of group identity at the behest of the federal government? That is a very...
So you're literally saying that DEI is based on race only? It's all based on race. Also, that's literally not what the DEI initiative is. I also don't think Kamala Harris is putting DEI at the center of her policies. I don't think she is. I mean, to be fair, she said she's going to put a Republican on her cabinet.
Very large stretch. And to get from point A to point B on the basis of the constitutional structure seems like you're going pretty far afield. I appreciate what you're trying to do, but, you know, the rubber band only goes so far.
That's the end of this claim.
That's great.
I appreciate you, man. Hopefully we can talk more.
I hear what you're saying.
I don't know if I'd want to get in an episode like this. I don't think I'd be able to keep my cool.
My next claim is that Kamala Harris's extreme pro-abortion stance is morally indefensible.
Oh, this is good.
What's going on, dude?
Meet you, man.
Hey, good to meet you. Okay, so I just want to clarify the claim because...
Sure.
Okay, so the claim that I'm making about Kamala Harris, let's first say like what I believe her position to be. Okay, so she has not stated any abortion law that she would not veto. Right, so the Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act, for example, or late-term abortion bans, she would presumably veto that as President of the United States. That's the position that I'm taking in this particular prompt. Okay, so that is the position that I find morally indefensible. Okay, so again, I'm a very, very pro-life person, But I can see at least the sort of nuanced arguments that some people on the left try to make about abortion, even if I disagree with those arguments. The argument that she's making, which is effectively abortion until birth should be in no way regulated, I find that to be morally indefensible.
That's not her position. Her position is that abortion should be between a woman and her doctor. That's it. That's it. That's the position. It should be between a woman and a doctor, and the government shouldn't step in at all. That's her position. But you are painting it, oh, they're killing babies at 8 months and 29 days. If something like that happens, which is, again, 0.001% of abortions, again, 0.001% of abortions, late-term abortions, third trimester abortions, usually when those third trimester abortions happen, the mother is fully expecting to have that child. And the doctor has found a complication that is not going to allow the child to be viable outside the womb. Which is why, or the mother's life is going to be threatened. This is what we're talking about. This is the entire conversation that the entire abortion conversation that is being had is over 0.001%. Conservatives only give a fuck about either the 1% or even less on every fucking issue. When you talk about welfare, food stamp fraud is literally 0.01%. Like, it's just when you talk about food stamp fraud is 0.01%. When you talk about migrants that are skipping their court dates, 98 to 99% of political asylum seekers literally come back to court and come to their hearings. They're talking about 1 to 2% of literally every fucking issue. Also, chat, 75% of the country believes that Roe versus Wade should have stayed. 75% of the country. This shit isn't dividing the country at all. It's without a question. It's very popular to have abortion access because abortion is medical care.
My understanding right now is that a majority of Democrats would not support abortion through birth. My understanding is the more popular position, I don't think any state lets you go through birth. Maybe I'm off on that. Maybe there's a couple.
California and New York, actually.
Okay, understood. But yeah, I think the key claim is basically, I think most Democrats would want abortion within the first few weeks prior to the development of my personal moral starting point of life is that the mind is the seat of consciousness. The brain is is where your self is. If you replace your heart, you have a robo heart, you're chilling. If you replace your brain, you're a different.
And Roe versus Wade is, should we take the canoe or should we just walk through the water? God damn it. Fuck you, Kiko. SCal would be proud of that one. You should screenshot that and send that to SCal. Actually, I'm going to do it for you because I know you're not going to do it. Whoops. That wasn't supposed to show up on the screen. There's nothing bad there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I guess I can let the video play while I'm doing this.
Person, you're dead. And I think that when that brain first starts to develop, that's sort of where I see the beginning of life and where the fetus gets their first moral consideration. Would you agree that abortion before that point is tolerable?
No, I don't agree with that. But again, quick question, just as far as defining the positions.
Yeah.
So would you agree that late-term abortion is indefensible?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's not my position. I would.
No. So you actually agree with me on the prompt?
No.
Okay, so now we get into the broader abortion conversation.
No, it's between it's between a woman and their doctor.
Do you feel that a majority of Democrats support through the moment before birth?
A majority of Democrats have not supported any abortion legislation on the federal level in my entire lifetime, nor do I suppose that they will. So if there were to be a consensus 15-week abortion ban, for example, which is about the status in Europe.
Roe versus Wade was literally a floor. It was 22 week. It was a 22 week. It was a 22 week floor for abortions.
For yourself is if you replace your heart, you have a robo heart, you're chilling. If you replace your brain, you're different.
And Roe versus Wade is, should we take the canoe or should we just walk through the water? God damn it. Fuck you, Kiko. Escow would be proud of that one. I said that to Escow.
I would assume that virtually all Democrats would vote against that 15-week abortion ban.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, you know, I may agree with your more moderate position, or at least use that as a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
That is certainly not where the Democratic Party historically has been, nor is it where the
Again, Roe versus Wade was a floor. It was a 22-week floor that abortions had to be allowed at a minimum 22 weeks. So any kind of abortion ban had to be 22 weeks or after that. Thanks, Plank, for the hydrate. Welcome him.
The Democratic Party is right
All right,
now.
awesome. Understood. And just to understand where you begin your moral consideration for a fetus.
Oh, where I consider it?
Yeah.
At conception.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I believe in life, that life begins at conception. You now have a human being with potential, not a potential human being.
Judaism doesn't even believe that Judaism is okay with abortions. Just remember that, chat. He's an Orthodox Jew, and Judaism itself believes in abortion.
And then the question is exactly what the moral value of that human being is. Once you acknowledge that there is, in fact, a countervailing interest to, for example, a woman.
I believe life begins on arousal. Chat, do you know you don't have to be aroused to ejaculate? True.
Quote unquote right to choose. Once you acknowledge there's an independent interest.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time, Ben.
You made it. You're good. You can relax.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you. Oh wow, you look better in person. Okay, so
That's very sweet of you. I don't often get that, so thank you.
Okay, it's fine. But yeah, how do you define abortion really quickly?
Abortion would be the forcible termination of an unborn human life.
Yes, but like, why do you hold that definition? Like, would you not assume like something like a C-section would be considered an abortion?
No, because the baby is born alive. So how would that be an abortion?
What does the definition of abortion have to include the death of a fetus?
Because that's literally the definition of abortion.
It literally isn't, though. Where are you getting this definition from?
Where are you getting your definition?
The Harvard Medical School definition of abortion is the removal of pregnancy tissue, products of conception, or the fetus and placenta after birth from the uterus. Oh, that's interesting. But also, this is a syntax argument. It's stupid.
From
it's the same thing as saying Middle Eastern people are Semitic. So when people are being racist towards Muslims, they're being anti-Semitic. Except it's kind of understood within society that being anti-Semitic is being an anti-Jewishness.
Let's go to like what, like, do you like in like Mayo Clinic, like any fucking like hospital you've ever gone to before?
A C-section ends with the birth of the child.
Right, but
I know.
But abortion,
both I and all three of my siblings were born via
generally.
C-section.
Yeah, I understand this.
I'm here. I'm talking to you.
I know, baby.
Thus I was not aborted.
I understand this, but like yes, but like no. Well, yes, but like no. But no, you could simply say that abortion is simply the ending of a pregnancy, right? So the ending of a pregnancy outside of the natural birth of a fetus. So I don't see that. I don't see why you would say that like it would have to end in the death of a fetus, which is why I'm pro-abortion all 9 months, right? Because say if a woman is not able to pass a fetus in the natural way, we could have these other abortion processes that would say like, okay, like she needs some type of induction that doesn't include the actual natural expulsion of a fetus. But it doesn't always end in the death of a fetus. So I don't see how you could say that Kamala Harris' stance is immoral in this sense.
I just don't understand how you're removing the death of the fetus from the equation about abortion. That's literally the entire moral issue. You and I would not even be arguing if we were talking about C-sections or about natural birth.
But it seems like at its core.
Yeah, but Ben, you are literally a bad faith. You are literally a bad faith connoisseur. You are a bad faith peddler, which is why we're sitting having this conversation, despite the fact that literally the definition of abortion, which this was introduced to me, is any outside help to terminate a pregnancy, whether the fetus be alive or not, or any placenta or tissue coming out of a pregnant person.
So we disagree on what the inherent definition of abortion is.
You could leave away. We could very easily solve this. Let's just not talk about the word abortion. Let's talk about the forcible termination of a baby.
Okay, so then what do you value in the fetus then?
The life of the fetus.
Okay, so then when is this? You said it begins at conception.
Yes.
And why is that?
Because that is literally the biological definition of when an independent life
Yes,
begins.
but like, why does it have moral value?
It has moral value because that's literally the biological definition of when a human life begins.
Right, but like, why does that have moral value though?
Okay, why does any life have moral value?
I would value sentience.
But why?
Right, because
Based on what?
This is simply what we value, like you and I value. Like, is it okay to like unplug like a brain dead patient, for example?
I mean, the question is whether it's okay to unplug a brain dead patient. Actually, quite a controversial one in sort of religious circles.
Hey, Ben Gaza. Yeah, I know. He really values a human life. Fucking Gaza. Yeah. Fucking Ben Shapiro. Piece of shit.
But as far as why I'm just wondering if somebody's in a coma and you know they're going to wake up, do you have the right to unplug them?
Well, coma's not brain dead though. We know that there's future sentience there. Like it would be like a matter of like a construct of like past, future. Like I'm sorry, past, present, or future sentience. But like a person in a coma has.
I agree, and guess what? Fetuses also have guaranteed future sentience.
Well, no, because you're only valuing one half of the conjunct. That's not right. So it would be past, present, or future.
Now you're changing the topic. I mean, we started with what's the value of the fetus.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
So, chat, if you haven't figured it out yet, once a supermajority of the red flags go up, they swap them out and give an opportunity for somebody else to jump in there. It's 14 out of 26, I think. But yeah, that's what's happening. So once that 14th flag goes up, the producers open the chair up for somebody else, and then you got to run and do it yourself.
Whoa! You know what? You know what? Just for, honest to God, just for that, I forfeit. That's like some serious efforting right there. Well done.
I'll take
really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, so on the topic of abortion, I think we have a big focus on the moral aspects of abortion, but I do think we should talk about the legal aspects of life, because when a baby is born, two things happen: birth certificate, social security card. When there are when it's like cells in the body, you don't get the birth certificate, you don't get a social security card because it's not alive, it's not born yet. Therefore, when it comes to like the moral repercussions of having abortion, I feel like that's very different than legally, because if a cluster of cells in a woman was equivalent to a baby, I should be able to have tax deductions on that kid. I should be able to have child care from the government. I should be able to have child support from the father. But since like the clusters of cells is in fact not a baby, I feel like morally you can say whatever, but legally a clusters of cells is not like
so sort
alive.
of hiding behind the
brother. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, brother? Also, crab cakes. We found Kiko in the wild. Kiko's Chud character in the wild while you're here. And you need to see this. I watched this the other day. Yeah, I'm watching it now and providing commentary. But this is Kiko.
So,
Kiko's character is Chud character.
This piece of art, I would just like to give the art world a little something. I got it here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Bam! So,
for reference again.
Valiant effort.
What?
Lot of death.
It's a thing fucking your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that you? Was that you who said that? Was that you who said that? That was you. Yeah. Up top, baby. Up top. Yeah. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you.
It's the same person.
I'm out of here. I'm out this fucking room with these fucking nerds. Fuck all of you.
It's the same person.
Legal positivist position, I think, to shield against the morality here is a problem, and I'll tell you why. Okay. So when it comes to, first of all, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm perfectly happy to have people pay paternity for children that are currently in utero. Okay. Like that's fine with me. In fact,
no, you're not okay with that, Ben. You're not fucking okay with that, because if you're okay with that, you'd be advocating for the child tax credit. But you don't fucking advocate for that. You'd be advocating for free education for all children. Can you send me the message clip? Lamau, that is insane. Yeah, literally the same guy. You want the link to that one? Yeah. Oh, the MSG. Yeah. Yeah. Here it is. There you go, Kiko. He said, boom, sticks up the middle finger. Yeah.
I think that'd be quite good. I think it would incentivize fathers to stay with the mothers and actually be more responsible. But if we're talking about...
But, Ben, you don't fucking advocate for that. You don't advocate for the Bennies to raise a family because you think handouts are bad. You consider those handouts. You don't advocate for that. You don't actually like that shit. You're just saying that to be accepted amongst the room of fucking liberals.
About legal status. There are plenty of people in the United States, for example, who don't have legal status right now, who don't have a social security card, for example, in the United States. Obviously, we can't kill them. They're legal immigrants. We shouldn't murder them. There are lots of people in the United.
They pay taxes, though, Ben. They pay taxes. Bro, I've always fucking hated Tony Hinchcliffe, but now I have a whole new hate for him. What a piece of shit. Yeah, when I used to listen to Joe Rogan, I kind of enjoyed when Tony was on there because it was light and fun. But I didn't really give a shit about him outside of that. But goddamn, his bit during the thing was so bad. How's anyone even defending him? Well, I mean, the racists are defending him. Dude, that made me so disappointing seeing his speech. Yeah. I didn't think he fell into the MAGA cult. Dude, it was so cringe. Yeah, when you're such a bad comic that your racist jokes don't hit in the racist arena, that's pretty bad. But the worst part is he's like, oh, actually, you need the context of it. I love Puerto Rico. I vacation there all the time. Yeah, and then you look at the context of it, and literally all the jokes there are so cringy and so hack and so bad.
Legal status does not, in fact, equate to...
Even my Puerto Rican Trump supporter coworker was like, nah, fuck that piece of shit. Also, if you're a Puerto Rican Trump supporter, whew, that is a very dark place. Because what Trump did to fucking Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria and allowed thousands of people to die, whew, very bad.
To moral status in any sense of the term. I mean, that it's true, for example, that children can't vote and don't actually have control over any of their decision-making, right? I have 4 kids of my own, and I control their decision-making because they're very small. Okay, that doesn't mean that I get to kill them. So the idea of legal status, thus being the basis of a moral status, is putting the cart before the horse.
It was just so unfunny in the most insane way. What was the joke? Yeah. No, you're right.
Obviously, you can see that state by state, right?
Hassan talks about it on his chat all the time. Comedians, the Nanette effect, where you're no longer telling jokes for a laugh, you're telling jokes for applause. As a society, we don't really value human life, so to hell with the fetus, dude. That's true. That's true, blank. You just say something inflammatory for the sake of being inflammatory? Yeah. No, that's literally what it is. That's what Dave Chappelle fucking does now. Dave Chappelle literally does his anti-trans rhetoric, and Joe Rogan does his anti-woke rhetoric for fucking applause now instead of laughs. They're hacks.
For example, even in the state of California, they had something called Lacey's Law for a while. I think it's still applicable, where if somebody killed a pregnant woman, that could be treated as a double homicide in criminal law. Okay, that sort of stuff applies all over the United States. So using the legal as a substitute to sort of evade the moral question
100%
ignores the
hacks,
fact
yeah.
that people make law in the states based on what their moral perception of the issue is. The law follows the moral perception, not the other way around.
Yes, I agree, but I think there is a problem with the moral perception, especially when you consider that morality varies all across America. It's not uniform anywhere. And that's a big problem, especially when you see in the South.
I genuinely think Joe Rogan is just too stupid to know what he's doing, but maybe that's wishful thinking. No, Joe Rogan has surrounded himself with sycophants. And when he moved to Texas, he had literally every hyper-reactionary Texan fucking come in there and talk to him. And then Joe Rogan always agrees with whatever guests that he has in, and he's had them on so many times that he just became hyper-reactionary himself. And you see it when they originally transition late in his California time and then move over to Texas. When Jamie starts fact-checking Joe gets super fucking pissed off, and Jamie doesn't even fact-check anymore because he's just gonna deal with Joe's wrath. Jamie used to be really good at fucking fact-checking on the Joe Rogan Experience, and then Joe basically got pissed off that Jamie kept telling him that his shit was that Joe was full of shit. And then always when Jamie fucking calls him out for ridiculous shit, Joe goes, "Oh, well, it's crazy that I thought that." No, you're crazy that I thought that. I said this earlier, Crab Cakes. There was a Instacart commercial Jamie now is a clone. Yeah. There was an Instacart commercial that I was watching where his kids put on these like halftime shows dancing to DMX's Up in Here and to parents. And there was a guy at work and he goes, dude, it's crazy. That's like a Diddy thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, no, that's like the Diddy party, you know, like all the Diddy jokes and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, you're watching a commercial with kids dancing around and having fun, and you're immediately connecting it to an underage sex party. That's a you problem. That's not society. That's a you problem. Your first thought when you see children dancing around, you sexualize it. That's a fucking you problem. And then he backed up and he goes, oh, no. I'm just saying, you know, like Instacart and DoorDash, Americans are just getting lazy. I'm like, no, you brought up a fucking Diddy party. Why did you immediately sexualize children when children are just fucking dancing? Why was your first thought to sexualizing children? That is a you fucking problem. That is the first time I went aggro on somebody in this recent election cycle. And I think that's a good thing to go fucking aggro on people when they're talking about fucking pedophilia and saying your first fucking thought was sexualizing children. That's fucked up. What the fuck is wrong with you? I think I'm going to do that from now on. I think that's kind of a good thing. I think it's kind of good to bully people like that in that sense. So like they take a step back and be like, oh shit, why did I think that? Maybe their thoughts will change. But God, it was like the more I think about the conversation, the more insane it was.
When they're having like 6-week abortion bans, which is detrimental to women's health. Because as we see in Georgia right now, there were 2 women who were pregnant who went to a hospital, get health care, and they were denied that care because there was confusion surrounding abortion laws. That's why I focus more so on the legality aspect of it, because that's something that's uniform. That's something that could be known.
It isn't uniform though, right? I mean, it does vary state to state. I mean, as you yourself just acknowledged.
True, yes.
So, you know, when it comes to sort of we can get into the specifics of those particular Georgia cases. One of them particularly has been relatively badly covered. It's about a woman who took basically both doses of the abortion medication. She took it without the supervision of a doctor. She then experienced essentially sepsis, and she went to the hospital late. And then, under no interpretation, by this point, she had twins. Both of the fetuses were unfortunately dead by this point. So there actually was no legal problem with performing a DNC at that time, and the hospital misinterpreted the law. You know, but without getting into more details about that particular case, the real question when it comes
to if a hospital has to literally interpret a law to determine if someone gets medical care, maybe we should probably fix that fucking law. Kids Bop's a Diddy ad. Dude, I can't get over that MSG clip. Thanks for showing it. It's literally the character. Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, holy shit. It's like, it's fucking Kiko. Kiko, you need to splice those together and post them on your Instagram. Post them on your Instagram reel. Whichever one you're using for your streaming. I don't know which one you use. I don't know which one to tag anymore when I tag you in my Instagram reels.
To abortion was, and always will be how we weigh 2 separate considerations. One is the moral value of the life of the fetus, and the second is the woman's right to choose. The problem is that these are sort of mutually exclusive, meaning that I don't have a right to choose about your life, right? About whether I get to kill you or not, or about the children that I have who are already born. And so the right to choose is obviated by the acknowledgement of a moral status on the part of the child, and vice versa. Right? If you're willing to say that the child has no moral status whatever, then there really is no problem with abortion. The big moral problem I have with the sort of Kamala Harris position and the position that I have. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
I think I got the judges over here.
All right.
Hey, nice to meet you, Ben.
Plus, I'll see you again later, dude. All right. Yeah.
Nice to meet
How's it
you.
going? Nice
Hey,
to meet
Cam. Hey, appreciate you being.
Also, you need to stop saying nice to meet you. I understand. I guess you could use it to fucking lower the defense of people, but Ben Shapiro doesn't give a fuck about you. You just shake his hand and don't say anything. 1,000,000%. I'm working on my socials this weekend. Okay. Also, you need to let me fucking know. Because I'm posting these videos and I want to tag you in them, but I never know what to fucking tag.
Being here and having an open discussion.
Yeah, you bet. It's fun.
Let's say that just hypothetically, right? Baby's born.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, mama can't feed the baby. She's not breastfeeding. Baby dies. Morally, do you feel like that would be better than if the baby would have just been like aborted before it was born?
I mean, I'm not sure that there's any I mean, I think that it's significantly worse to purposefully
Oh my
kill
God.
a child.
Oh my God.
Than,
Oh my God. He was going to say there wasn't a difference between the two. He was literally going to say there isn't a difference between the two, but he can't do that. What's working on socials? Kiko's working on socials. Also, Plank, I think I found your Instagram today. I'm assuming it was yours. It kind of just popped up.
accidentally or through circumstances kill
It's
a child.
Not accidentally, right? She cannot.
She didn't purposefully kill the child.
She can't afford it, right?
I mean-
she can't afford to have the baby, and so you're saying that Kamala Harris is extreme, but your stance is that women are being forced to have children, even if they decide that for whatever reason. I don't care. I don't care.
Why
but
don't
for
you
whatever
care? Why
reason,
don't you care? Because you give me a very
because it's not
specific
between
example.
me. Because it's not. It is not between me.
Right, but
it is between that mom, her health, her relationship with whoever she believes in. It is not
So
on me.
here's sort of the problem.
Mhm.
You're extrapolating from a very emotionally laden example to everything. And I'm wondering how you're doing that. So
Ben Shapiro, your entire argument is based on emotion. So what?
you give me a case in which you have a woman who, for whatever reason, literally cannot feed her child. For some reason, adoption's not available. There are no food stamps. There's literally nothing. She's in a desert by herself, and the baby's going to die. Is that abortion equivalent to a woman who decides to, because she doesn't want the baby for economic reasons or because it's going to crimp her lifestyle, like whatever? You said you don't care about the reason at all. That's your words, not mine. So she's 15 weeks pregnant. She wants to kill it. That's the same? Why?
You're asking me why it's the same. I'm asking you why. Like, why isn't it the same? Why is a baby who
I think it's pretty
can't
self-evidently the same,
who
not the same.
can't be born say that if she doesn't want to, if she says that I can't economically afford this child, that's like somebody going and saying I can't economically afford this car, and the car salesperson still taking them on a test drive. Like, what's the point if they've already told you that they are not going to be able to economically afford it unless
First of all, I think
unless you give them, like you said, okay, what about abortion? Well, there's how many people in foster care that aren't being adopted right now today? All right,
Should we kill them or what?
Also, Ben Shapiro is literally against allowing those kids to be adopted by gay couples. But also, Ben Shapiro here is going to say, oh, we should fucking murder them. No, because abortion's not murder. When the children are born, it becomes murder. But abortion is for a fetus that's not viable outside the womb. It's not murder.
I'm not saying we should kill them. I'm just saying that should we wait at least until
Would have been better if they were
those
dead.
people. You tell me.
No, you tell me. You're the one who's
If
suggesting
those
there's
people-
that's a matter of moral apathy, whether those kids were born or not. I don't think so.
So if kids are in foster care and not being treated well, they're being abused. They're not being fed.
That is a
they're
horrific problem, yes.
They're being locked. The fridge is being locked, and they're told they can't go get it because
that's
there are
horrible.
people who are only in it because they're getting a check. You're saying that is morally
superior to
Also, a lot of foster parents are hardcore fucking Christians and shit that support Ben Shapiro and whatnot, or have similar thoughts on Ben Shapiro and everything, and are collecting that check, collecting the bennies.
To killing them, yes.
Before they're born. So
Yes.
you're saying that torturing a human being who's born, like they're a real life
No, I'm
human
not the one
today.
in favor of torture. You're the one in favor of unborn people
If
being
you
killed.
can't, if the only
This
way
is a
to
bad
survive is
argument.
food and water, and you rely on someone else to provide that to you, and they're not providing it to you, what would you
Gaza.
all that?
I'm confused by.
I know you are, because
but
your
I
argument contradicts itself.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, the argument that you're making is
It's
that,
not
is that a
good.
born child
It's not a
deprived
good
of food and
argument.
water never should have been born.
No.
I don't see why that follows.
That's not my argument. My argument.
It's not a good argument. All right, chat.
Well, okay, we're gonna take this chair.
All right,
Look at that.
chat.
Hey, Ben.
Like a bro, my friend. All right,
How's it going?
let's break open
So,
Here we
first
go, chat.
question: Can men get pregnant?
I'm making a commercial and sifting through royalty-free lo-fi tracks while hearing them argue. Well, Kiko, get your fucking popcorn here. This is the one you want to see. Get your popcorn.
and cannot get pregnant.
Okay, awesome. So,
Definitionally.
definitionally, okay. Do men experience SA? Sexual assault?
Sure.
Got it. What about the existence of trans men?
What about the existence? Do you mean women who believe that they are men? What are we talking about here? Women experiencing gender dysphoria.
So my other question is, do you benefit from white supremacy in any way, shape, or form?
I'm going to need more specifics on what you mean by white
Well, here,
supremacy.
let me give it to you then.
Sure, please.
So I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, what, in the history of America that legislates a man's body, so why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in what your genitalia are.
Clearly you are. I mean, it's all over everything you make, buddy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you, but
I think you can read on my
kind of an
face that I
obsession
radically
you
am
guys
not.
have.
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. When we're talking about
No,
abortion,
I don't. I mean, you can present it here, but in most of the content that you have, you attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me.
My man sitting backwards like a church counselor. Dude. Shane here, I believe, purposely spun the chair around so that Shane didn't jump across the table to strangle Ben Shapiro. Wait, what? What do you mean plank? What are you confused about? He's like, I'm doing the eyebrows. It means I don't want to hear it. Yes. Because Ben Shapiro, all he cares about is fucking people's genitalia. So plank, this is a trans man having a conversation with Ben Shapiro and breaking Ben Shapiro's fucking brain. Because Ben Shapiro tries to misgender people constantly, but now there's a person in front of him that he literally said, let me see if I can get, okay.
Transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay. So when Shane sat down, he's breaking mine at the moment. I love how before he found out, he was like, I'd like to have a beer with this guy. This is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm looking for. So Ben Shapiro, this is the hilarious part, because Ben Shapiro literally refers to Shane as a man. And according to Ben Shapiro's ideology, Shane is not a man. But Shane identifies Shane as a man before he knows. Let's watch it from the beginning. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was looking for. Right here, right here, right here.
Wow, okay, we're going to take this chair. Look at that.
Hey, Ben.
Like a bro, my friend.
Like
All
a
right.
bro.
How's it going?
Like a bro. Like a bro. Like a bro. He is implying that Shane is obviously a man. This is against everything Ben Shapiro has ever said about transgender people. All right. Do you guys want to re-see this? You guys want to see this again? We'll see it. We'll watch this again.
First
A beer or
question,
something.
can men get pregnant?
Men cannot get pregnant.
Okay, awesome. So,
Definitionally.
definitionally, okay. Do men experience SA? Sexual assault?
Sure.
Got it. What about the existence of trans men?
What about the existence? Do you mean women who believe?
And this is where Ben realized he fucked up. This is where Ben realized he fucked up, because with Ben's hateful rhetoric towards trans people, he doesn't even think about trans men, because he can't tell the difference between a man and a trans man.
Believe that they are men? What are we?
Which he also can't tell the difference between a woman and a trans woman as well. Just to point that out.
What are you talking about here? Women experiencing gender dysphoria?
So my other question is, do you benefit from white supremacy in any way, shape, or form?
This was a weird one.
I'm going to need more specifics on what you mean by white
Well, here, let me
supremacy.
give it to you then.
Sure, please.
So I'm a transgender man.
Okay.
I've experienced SA.
Okay.
And abortion rights affect me directly. So if we're talking about the American dream that you live, why don't I have access to that? Because there's no legislation, what, in the history of America that legislates a man's body, so why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in what your genitalia are.
Clearly you are. I mean, it's all over everything you make, buddy. I'm sorry. I hate to say it to you, but
I think you can read on
kind
my
of an
face that I
obsession
radically
you
am
guys
not.
have.
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not. When we're talking about
No,
abortion,
I don't. I mean, you can present it here, but in most of the content that you have, you attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me exist who actually share a lot of similarities to you and everything, because I'm a married man of 20 years.
I
got a wife.
recognize that you exist. I disagree with your claim
so
that you are
if
a
I
male.
was sexually assaulted, right, and I didn't have access to that abortion care, do you believe that I should have carried that child to term because I was sexually assaulted?
I mean,
No, I just want to make sure that that's what you believe. Because as a transgender man, I have seen your side of the entire political debate.
Let him cook, chat.
Never, ever having the conversation of what an American freedom is. Because why am I not allowed to live my American freedom as a man? You know, I mean, you get your choice as a man to live and free and all that.
You're really moving around terminology very wildly here.
And so are you, because that's the tactics you play in your game. And you've done it the entire time. You've jumped from one subject to the next. You speak so fast, and I know how you work. So how does it feel to have it in your face?
Oh, well, I mean...
Because I'm sick and tired of the shit that you have put against my community, especially black trans women. Because you constantly disregard all of our needs and then use us politically as a pawn when we're 1% of the population. Why not focus on the economy itself? All of us are struggling, and you want to focus on trans people. You want to focus on a black woman when this is clearly a glass cliff situation. America's falling apart, and let's give it a woman right when it's all falling apart when we'd had, 50 men run it and it looks like shit? Look at where we're at. Truly, where do you think that we're heading? I mean, it's so funny to watch white supremacy just fall apart the way that it is, and you ride so hard. Because guess what? In other countries around the world, women are not having children. And why is it? Because of the patriarchy and all the violence that men perpetuate, and all of this idea that abortion is somehow going to solve it all.
Bro, this dude's
forcing women to have
fantastic,
abortion
yes.
instead of focusing on the real problems that we're facing in our society. We're just going to completely ignore that, and we're just going to go, you know what? The line item is, let's make women have babies so that we can continue this capitalistic society that we have. Why are we doing that? What? I mean, why? Because you want to push white supremacy and because you want to make your check? It does great for you? Meanwhile, people like me have to live with the consequences of all of your rhetoric that you put on a daily basis. And
Let 'em
including
cook.
my entire community. And the intersectionalities of black women, men that experience SA, trans people, everyone that comes in. And I'm so sick of the idea that you can come in with this bravado, that you're this big guy that knows things because you can talk fast, you have statistics. But really, what does it really matter at the end of the day if you are harming the entire American? This guy's been accused of rape. Trump, in court documents, and you're backing the guy. You have children. How could you do that to your own? Don't you have a daughter? What is wrong with you, dude? I've never seen such a party just completely the American idea, what we believe in as a country, is not.
If you raise your flag now, you're a dick. Yeah, but the people are raising the flag because it's turning into personal attacks called ad hominem attacks. So that's why people are raising the flags. And they're trying to get ahead of Shane here before Shane says something super problematic that's gonna get that's gonna hurt the movement. So I could understand it. But that's my thought process with it. But personally, I would let Shane cook because Ben Shapiro fucking deserves this. And so much more.
What you're perpetuating, it's diversity. It's giving you tired, hungry, and poor. The Google phone you have in your pocket is because of all of the diversity we've had.
Pause.
Pleasure to meet you.
He
Okay,
fucking pulled it back.
There's a lot of tension in the room now. Let's.
He pulled it back. Watch.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh my God.
Okay. There's a lot of tension in the room now. Let's stay cordial. Let's stay respectful, please. Please.
By the way, chat, from here on out, Ben gets fucking grilled. It's amazing. I watched it with Hassan reacting to it. Who's Blair? I don't know. Is it is this Blair here?
Whoa. Hey, how's it going? How are you? Good to meet you.
So your basis is saying that culturally, people
No,
don't have the same.
I don't know. I don't know who Blair is. I don't know who he's referencing. I'm not sure who Shane's referencing. Blair White?
I don't know if you call it a debate, but your debate with Ben Shapiro, I thought was like one of the best moments in that.
Oh, Blair White. Which isn't Blair White the fucking... Isn't that the trans woman that's like super against trans rights? Yeah, I think Blair White is that trans woman that's like super MAGA and shit like that. I guess Shane's friends with her, which is kind of weird.
Let's stay cordial. Let's stay respectful, please. Please, please.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. So let's say that I'm voted out by my friends here, and I stand up and immediately collapse onto the ground. Paramedics rush in, and through some magical means, they determine that the only person who can save my life is you. You can do that by giving me a transplant. Can you be forced to give me a transplant?
I cannot.
Why?
Because I do not have a parental relationship with you, and thus I do not owe you a duty of care in the same way that
he knows where this is going. He knows this is going, so he's setting it up by saying, I am not a parental I'm not the parent. I don't have a parental relationship with you.
I would if, say, you were my son.
Can a parent be forced to give a kid a transplant?
Yes, a parent can be forced to give a kid an enormous number of resources, or should be.
Can you be forced to give me?
Whoa. A parent cannot be forced to give a child a transplant. Not that I'm aware of. I don't think a parent would be forced to give a transplant, as far as I'm concerned. So I think Ben's incorrect on that one.
Me blood.
No.
Do you believe that the average person should be able to be forced by the government to do something with their body?
It depends what, because
Why can you not
get me a ball, Dad? I want 3.
be forced to give me? Why can you not be forced to give me an organ?
Because I do not owe you a duty of care sufficient to remove an organ.
Because
from
you
me.
cannot be forced to use your body to sustain my own, and that is the crux of
because
the
I do not owe you a
argument.
duty. To,
Ooh, this is a good argument.
You cannot be forced to use your body to
argument.
sustain my own, and that is the crux of the abortion argument. And the problem is, and it's very morally
You're ignoring the
inconsistent.
parental relationship.
Because there's a point here. There's a very morally inconsistent part to your argument right here. If you do not believe that you should be able to be, you should be forced to sustain my body using your own, then you should also not believe that a woman should be forced to sustain a child that they do not want to carry in utero. Is the same basic argument.
Well,
it doesn't matter how you get there. Let's say that you crash into me on the way out of here.
Well, no, it's
if
actually,
you hit
it's
into
not
me,
the, it's actually
yes,
not
it
the
is,
same
but
argument.
it is. If you say
It
that,
isn't,
let's say that you run into me
Okay.
on the way out of here. If you crash into me, it doesn't matter that that is the reason why I am in that state. You cannot be forced to give me blood. You cannot be forced to give me an organ. You
Okay,
cannot
that's
be
not
forced to
actually
use your body
how
to
abortion
sustain my
works.
own.
An abortion includes a pre-existing physical connection between the two bodies. So a better example would be the so-called dead violinist example or dying violinist example. That was
dude. Okay, for those that don't know, the dead violinist example, he's getting ahead of this. The dead violinist example is that there's a world-renowned violinist that you're hooked up to. Do you have the right to pull the plug on the connection between the two? That's the dead violinist example.
put forward by a philosopher, I can't remember her name. The basic idea there is that you wake up in a room and I'm connected to you, right? And you have some sort of health condition, I'm connected to you, and I'm giving you a blood transfusion. And if I remove that, you'll die. Do I have a duty not to remove it? I think there's actually a fairly decent case that I actually do have a duty.
No, you do not. You do not have a duty to be forced to.
No, you don't.
My
moral position.
You do not have a duty
My
to
moral
sustain
position is
someone
not
else's
yours,
body
clearly.
using your own. Thank you.
The argument was pretty good. The argument was pretty good. It was just flawed
Tough to get in
execution.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5'2".
You made it.
I'm the only one in the room shorter than you. Okay, so honestly, my understanding of Kamala's plan is a return to Roe v. Wade, but in the legislative level. That seems to be the majority opinion by the American people.
Yep.
They were not for the removal, right? Trump is not really for an abortion ban, right?
I mean,
In
he
his
himself has said
personal
he is
level.
not.
Okay, yeah, but unfortunately, the way he governs, he puts those 3 folks in the Supreme Court. They do it. His vice presidential pick really wants to do it. He's claiming now that everybody wants it to the
Nathan,
states.
you're yelling.
Nobody wanted it. No, that was not the demand. I think people are just
Nathan,
kind of
you're yelling.
interested in protecting their freedoms. It's a bigger discussion about freedom. And I think Kamala Harris is going to be the presidential pick to protect the freedoms.
Okay, so again, I think that we have to define what we think Kamala Harris's position is. I think that it goes well beyond simply restoring Roe versus Wade, for example, which is an extremely flawed legal decision. A wide variety of legal scholars, ranging from right to left. Ruth Bader Ginsburg used to point.
Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg said that the Roe versus Wade argumentation wasn't strong enough, and that it could eventually be overturned later down the line. This is true. There was stronger arguments for it. Which I don't remember the exact arguments, but I think the Roe versus Wade decision was based on the 14th Amendment, which was like privacy or something like that. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg believed that there was a stronger argument for it other than the 14th Amendment.
I think we can't pretend that like this is like a bipartisan thing. Roe v. Wade was a problem. The bipartisan thing.
No,
was
you might
having Roe v.
you
Wade.
might like the results. You might like the results of Roe versus
I
Wade.
don't
The
have
actual
much
legal decision is
listen,
a bad legal
listen,
decision.
I think that.
That's the end of this claim.
I'm glad you finally made it, though.
Hopefully, I can come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks. Report down the middle with facts, delivering news without bias, being underreported, partnering with
That's
phones
not
and
true.
click the link in a group of bias. Now, let's get into it.
All right, chat. I'm gonna call it here. I need to go to bed. I need to get some sleep so I don't oversleep for work tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow, I might do a morning stream. I'm sorry, Kiko. I'm sorry. I might do a morning stream first thing in the morning. But we will finish this at the start of stream. I promise you. I am working again tomorrow. Same time. So if I would stream, it probably would be a late stream again. But like I said, if I do wake up in the morning, I think I might do like a quick 4-hour stream first thing in the morning. We'll see. I'm going to set my alarm and we'll see how I feel. Stay tuned to my Discord and we'll find out. But chat, this has been fun doing React content all day. I love doing Hogwatch. It's been really fun to do this. I think I could do a little bit better.
And that whole conversation.
That's not what I fucking wanted. I think I'm kind of doing okay. I feel like I could improve a little bit better on my Hogwatch reacts, but the videos really weren't that great. But this Ben Shapiro one, I feel like I'm cooking a little. But anyway, thank you, chat. Thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't do this without you guys here at all. But yeah, thank you so much. Sorry I didn't get to Planet Crafter where I could continue to terraform. But honestly, I didn't really want to stream tonight. Because I had a slight headache and everything, and I'm really glad I ended up streaming because this turned really fun. I say this a lot, to be honest with you. And I haven't learned from my mistakes. I should just know that I just need to hit that start streaming button because I always end up enjoying myself. But yeah, thanks again, chat. So yeah, we'll go raid out. I think it's time to raid out to friend of the broadcast. I think we're gonna go to Cinemarxism. I think Cinemarxism is doing some React content. Not positive what he's on right now. But we're gonna head on over to Cinemarxism because the content I did today is very similar to the content that Cinemarxism does all the time. So, go have fun over there, chat. It looks like they're having fun over there. Ciao, Ghost. Thank you, Plank. Appreciate you being here. Chat, here are the raid messages. First one are for those that are not subbed. Second two are for those that are subbed. We will see you tomorrow. Pay attention to the Discord. Pay attention to an announcement. If I don't go live in the morning, I'll make sure to put a message in there and let you know that I'll be going live tomorrow night. But yeah, thank you all so much. I hope I kept you all entertained. I hope I provided some laughter for you and provided some talking points that you could shit on people. But yeah, so wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. See y'all later.